Since after KZN Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi alleged he diverted political killings dockets to his office where they were allegedly neutralized. Sibiya has taken the matter to court, arguing the decision was unfair and unlawful. The legal dispute plays out as the Madlanga Commission begins its work probing corruption and criminal infiltration across law enforcement and the justice system. Masemola says he has no intentions to make it a public spectacle.
Be ventilated at court, so let's not create another platform to adjudicate on it here now on the street. Let it be adjudicated at court at the right place where it's supposed to happen.
Masemola says his focus remains fighting crime across the country. Mungi Zikoko, Eyewitness News.
At the same time, National Assembly Speaker Togo Didiza has come to the defense of Parliament's legal advisers who have come under heavy criticism from members of the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption. Didiza says she's noted with concern remarks made this week by some MPs during proceedings of the committee investigating allegations of corruption in the criminal justice system. On Monday, the MK Party and EFF Party both expressed their unhappiness with Parliament's legal advisor assigned to the committee, with members insisting on appointing an external counsel to lead the evidence. Babalondenze has more.
During its last two meetings, the ad hoc committee has failed to adopt its terms of reference, with proceedings riddled with disagreements and attacks on Parliament's legal advisers. Parties also opposed a proposal by the ANC to only utilize Parliament's legal team instead of an external counsel to save costs. They accused the legislature's legal team of not having the capacity to handle the work, with some labeling them incompetent. But Parliament spokesperson Moloto Mothapo says Speaker Togo Didiza has full confidence in the team.
The Speaker of the National Assembly wishes to place on the record her full confidence in Parliament's legal advisers in response to the certain views expressed in the proceedings of the ad hoc committee that is underway.
Mothapo says Parliament's legal advisers are not merely administrative staff members of Parliament, but are officers of the court, guided by the Legal Practice Act and Legal Practice Council. Babalondenze, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Let's stay in the Western Cape, where the case against two teenagers accused of attacking 3 DA MPs in Philippi has been postponed to next week, Thursday. On Tuesday, Parliament's Police Committee Chairperson Ian Cameron, Nicholas Gotzel and Lisa Schikkerling were involved in what is believed to have been an attempted hijacking. Cameron and Gotzel were assaulted with bricks, while an 18-year-old suspect was shot and wounded during the incident. While the 18-year-old was arrested when he sought medical care, the 16-year-old suspect was arrested the next morning. The National Prosecuting Authority's Eric Ndabazalila says police are still on the hunt for a third attacker.
The NPA can confirm that a 16-year-old appeared at the Athlone Magistrate Court, charged with attempted robbery with aggravating circumstances. His co-accused, Lisole Tuklas, 18 years old, appeared in absentia as he is in hospital. He has been notified of the postponement date and may appear in court as soon as he is discharged. More charges are likely to be added as the investigation continues.
To this now, the Gauteng government has promised to address issues raised by some Soweto residents who were attending the G20 Summit Awareness Program today. The residents who gathered at the Diepkloof Community Hall criticized government, saying they have been excluded from the G20 preparations. They also reiterated that their long-standing service delivery complaints have been sidelined and are only being addressed now for the G20 leaders coming to the country. Provincial Health MEC Nomantunko Moraluhuko, who is standing in for Premier Banyaza Lesufi, welcomed the honest feedback today.
Bring those issues that you feel that must be addressed by the Premier and by the departments. Going to channel them to the Premier, to the department, but I will be leading myself. If you want me to come to Soweto Parliament to deal with those things right there with my colleagues or staff members that needs that, will do that.
And further afield, a teenager has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for a foiled plan to attack a Scottish mosque. The teen, who cannot be named due to his age, had planned to set the building on fire and kill any worshippers inside. The 17-year-old was arrested in January carrying a military-style rucksack as he tried to gain entry to the building. Investigators also found a list of individuals who had inspired his political beliefs, including Adolf Hitler Hitler and a Norwegian mass murderer. The teenager will be supervised for 8 years after his release from jail. Gold is trading at $3,340.43 an ounce. The rand is at 17.68 to the dollar, 23.80 to the pound, 20.59 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $66.84 a barrel.
In the Devland area heading towards Eldorado Park, we still have roadworks causing heavy delays. This is on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. Also in the Lenasia area, slow-moving traffic heading into Protea Glen. This is on the N12 westbound, approaching the R558.
In US sport, Orlando Pirates finally off the mark in the Betway Premiership. Lucas Ribeiro Costa turns to FIFA in his quest to get his Mamelodi Sundowns contract terminated, and Fraser McWright to captain Australia in their second Rugby Championship test against South Africa.
It's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says he will not respond to claims by his deputy Shadrack Sibiya that he acted unlawfully by placing him on special leave.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7.
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Eight minutes after 3 o'clock. Welcome to it. Tabo in for John. We together till 6. Great having you with us. The numbers are still the same. Please feel free to participate in any discussion that we'll be holding. Speaking of which, in a short while, we'll speak to the national spokesperson of the South African Police Service, Athlenda Mate. And we are speaking about the destroying of drugs that took place sometime in the morning. And also included in there were unregistered medicines worth about 420 million rand, and this was in Gauteng. Equally so, we will look into a very interesting story. Remember, I did say at the beginning of the week that we are dealing with stories of David versus Goliath, proverbially that is. We will be speaking to Anna van der Merwe, who was seeking medical attention. She's 73 years old, and she's been going up and down to the hospitals in the West End trying to get some relief. And she ended up here because she was not getting any joy, and will flag her story. And we have been speaking to the health department to come on and also represent their side of the story. And everything else on the show still remains the same. Tian Dutoy, property inspector, will join us for your house, your home, and we'll speak about the damp walls. What do you do around those? And of course, this is your show. Anything else goes. If we miss a story, you need to tell us. If there's something happening in your area, be our eyes and our ears. If you hear someone whispering, feel free to let us know on 072 702 1702. Good afternoon. The show has just begun.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
That is the show today, and as I said, I look forward to your interactions. The show is produced by Jonathan Furban, who is in the studio, Kabazela, together with Rifuwe, and both of them make sure that the content is just on point. Giving us traffic is Karabo Charlie, and he'll keep you updated. If you're on the road, please stick around. He'll tell you which routes to avoid, which traffic lights are working and which aren't. And someone who's making us all sound all too great is Karabo, and she's pressing the buttons. She's our technical producer. Mbali Dlamini will give us the very latest with eyewitness news, and Tholakele Mganga will come through with sporting news. Stephen Grotes will come through as well with everything that has got to do with finances, business, markets, and all else in between. And of course, you, the most important ingredient of the show. We can't do it without you. We may argue, we may see things differently, but without you, we cannot do it. We do it all for you. And I really mean it when I say that. It's not just a nice thing to say, because you could be anywhere else, but you choose us. It means the world to us here at Prime Media. 12 minutes after 3. Speaking of which, the producer of the show is here. Kabazele, are you well?
Good.
Do you want to correct me again?
Always butchers your name, and it's so
No,
easy. Kabazela, baba.
Hey, Nemdota, who's talking to you, bro? Even. Where do you enter in this? What's going on, man? What's going on, bro?
I'm helping you out.
Listen, I'm coming to you now in a second, bro. Just chill. Wait your turn. Are you well? Are you well?
I'm very good. I'm
Good,
well.
good,
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
and everybody else listening as well too.
Yeah, and now it's your turn. You can speak.
Afternoon.
Karabo, open the mic. Open his microphone.
Afternoon, Tate Thabo.
Tate John. No, I'm just kidding. People will fight with me. They'll think I'm bullying this. This is how we joke around, guys. Please
This
don't
is
take
how
it.
we are off air.
Yeah, this is how we are off air. True. I know. I get a lot of flack. People think I'm a bully. I'm nasty, and this is how we are off air. So please don't take it too hard. The team doesn't. Speaking of individuals, John, I wanted to ask you, do you look at yourself in a mirror? It's a stupid question, but I'm sure you do. And do you take selfies?
This is a deep one now, and I'll maybe be a bit vulnerable, but for a while, I didn't like taking selfies. Even my missus, if you ask us, I mean, I've been dating her for 8 years, and we've been engaged for a year. Mm-hmm. And there's not many photos of us together, because whenever I took a selfie or photo with her, I was like, no, don't like that. And I had big self-esteem issues with my hair.
Oh,
my
yeah,
hairline.
yeah.
I didn't like my
really?
hairline. Yeah, because it was receding quite badly.
Oh wow! Welcome to the club.
Yeah, well, I mean, your cheese cup looks good. Me with the cheese cup, I look sick. So I mean, for a long time I didn't, and then I eventually did something about it, and I had a hair transplant.
Oh,
yeah,
bro, I didn't know.
Yeah, I did. So I'm 7 months into it.
Seriously?
That's why I'm wearing a cap all the time. Yeah, because it's got to grow and all that kind of stuff.
But you're allowed to change caps, you know that. I've got some at home. Moving along. So
I didn't for a long time.
Yeah.
And that was just something that bothered me for a while, you know.
Yeah.
So you would maybe look in the mirror.
Yeah.
And then you'd think, all you would see, for me personally, was I'd see the receding hairline.
Yes.
So it was something that I struggled with for a long time.
Yeah. But the point of all of this, and you, Karabo, you look at yourself in the mirror every now and then?
I do. And just like John here, sometimes I'm like, Karabo, you could do better.
I agree with the mirror.
Could do that.
I do. You could.
But I don't take selfies either. I don't like them. I just don't feel... Yeah,
there was a study that was published not too long ago, and I'll try to put it up on Twitter in a short while. But long and short, it says that how you see yourself in a mirror, an image or a reflection of yourself in the mirror, is a subjective view of yourself, meaning that's not how you really look.
Oh.
So you look uglier in person than you do when you are looking at yourself in the mirror. Meaning you look a bit more handsome, more gorgeous, more lovely, more cute when you're looking at yourself in the mirror. Because your mind is very subjective and biased. So, but that's not how we see you. So, and this is what they did. So they called a number of people and put pictures of those individuals who were there and showed them the pictures of themselves and other people. And they asked those participants to point themselves out in a plethora of pictures that they had put down. In more instances, people picked pictures. They could identify themselves easily in the more embellished pictures, meaning in the pictures that looked far better, that were photoshopped and whatever else. That's when they could recognize themselves a little bit easier. So your mirror is literally lying to you, at least according to this. So that you don't look as hot, you don't look as gorgeous, you don't look as handsome, you don't look as cool in real person, simply because you have a distorted picture of yourself when you look into the mirror. So the question I wanted to ask you in our 702 land today was that out of 10, Jono, starting with you, what do you think you are when you look into the mirror? Out of 10, 10 being most handsome, 1 being a tortoise or something very ugly. So where do you rate yourself when you look into the mirror?
I'd probably say a 7.
Oh wow, that's a bit high,
come
bro.
on.
7? Are you joking, man?
Karabo says,
oh wow.
The other Karabo says I'm an 8.
She's a diplomat. Don't take what she says seriously.
Chocolates.
And you, Karabo?
I'd say a 6.5.
No, well, you
know,
actually a 3, but let's talk.
What would you
Yeah.
rate yourself?
An invigorating 8.
An invigorating 8.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, chill.
Invigorating 8. But the mirror could be lying
Do
to
those
me.
mirrors at home got Photoshop on?
So that's our question to you today.
So let's just wrap here. 'Cause
Yeah.
What you gave there was quite a lot of information.
Yes.
So you're saying that people have a higher opinion of themselves in
As
terms
far
of
as
they look
yes, image
versus what
aesthetics.
other people. So in other words, I say I'm a 7, you would
Yeah.
rate me a 5.
A 3, but
A 3.
I get the picture. Yes.
So that's the
yes.
that's the thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't buy it. No.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Okay.
agree with
Tell
that
me why.
study.
Tell me why.
Well, because you could have low self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
And you could be really good looking or really beautiful.
Yeah.
And somebody else could see. So in other words, that person could say, "Oh, I'm a 5," but I could look at them and think, "Wow,
Yeah.
I think you're a 9."
Yeah.
And your personality could be so good. You could be caring.
Yeah. Except it
there's
doesn't
so
count
many
in this
things more
instance. Yes.
than the actual appearance.
Yes. Except it doesn't count. We're talking about appearance only. But I have to say,
Yeah.
in any survey, in any study, in any research, there is an outlier, what we call outlier, meaning an exception.
Yeah.
Those exceptions exist, whatever it is that you're trying to research. So I would think that those fall under outliers. They are just a minority, a very little minority of the broader general picture.
Yeah.
So yes, there would be exceptions given. People with low self-esteem, people who don't regard looks as anything else. But generally, when you look into the mirror, you're not as hot as you think you are.
Yeah, I still don't agree. I think if you had to do a sample
Yeah.
around here and like
Yeah.
say, for example, Karabo said he's a 5.
Yes.
Okay. Now we had to take Karabo's picture.
6.5.
6.5. I don't think you're a 5 or a 6.5, by the way. And we take his photo to 10 other people.
Yes.
I guarantee you they would rate him higher than what he's rated himself.
Yeah, you know, the only thing is that that sample doesn't represent the country or the world. So it's a very small sample. Why don't you conduct your own survey? Come back to us and we'll do it on the show. How about that?
I could. I will.
Well,
I'll
do
go,
that,
I'll
bro.
go
Who's
do
stopping
that.
you?
Like, I could give an example with my missus, right, at
Yeah.
home. She'll always maybe judge herself and say, "Oh, I'm not looking too well, I've got
Yeah.
like this thing here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You're looking perfect. You're looking pretty." And I'm being genuine. But then,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's modest when she says that. When she sees herself, she looks far better than she would be. And not just me or Miss, I'm talking about everyone. Don't take any offense. Yeah, but I'm just saying, generally, we see ourselves as better.
Okay. No, I
Yeah,
get you.
yeah. But I could be wrong. I don't know what other people are thinking. Please let us know on 011-883-0702 or send a voice note, text message to 072-702-1702. I'd love to know, what do you rate yourself? What does a mirror show you out of 10? 1, 6, 10? It's 20 minutes after 3. And Garabo?
702
Let's walk
Yes,
the
sir.
talk
At this
on
stage, traffic
92.7.
not looking too
and
bad. Still
106
early days.
FM.
Still early days at this stage. Otherwise, In the Devland area, there's roadworks causing heavy delays. This is on the Golden Highway on the N1. This is between the N1 and Union Avenue. Also slow-moving traffic if you're traveling in the Poleshof area. This is on Witkoppen Road between Stonehaven and the main road. That's St. Peter's School. Look out for those faulty traffic lights in Edenville, Modderfontein Road and Van Riebeek, in Randburg at Malibonga Drive and Mahogany. There's also traffic lights out of order in the Midrand area at Olifantsfontein Road and the N1. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Often now we see leaders of the ANC exploring what other options would have looked like. Do you think this is better than what we could have seen maybe with partnering with the EFF or partnering with the MK party?
Infinitely. I think the MK party is just an offshoot of the ANC, and it's a party of thugs, to put it bluntly. If there is a government of national unity, it can't be uniting with people who are openly supportive of corruption or openly defiant of our constitution. There has to be some kind of bottom line principles.
What about the EFF?
I think some of their behavior in Parliament was actually quite despicable, quite immature, childish, juvenile. I think there has to be a seriousness amongst the partners in a government of national unity.
Derek Hanekom, thank you so much.
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
It's the clarion call for the 26th Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. This year, plan your days wisely because we are pulling out all the stops. Jazz at Lincoln Center, featuring the legendary Wynton Marsalis, returns in triumph to the Sandton Convention Center on the 26th and 28th of September 2025. But that's not all. Over 60 world-class acts light up 4 stages throughout the weekend. Actually, why choose? Treat yourself to the full experience. Grab all 3 days exclusively on Ticketmaster. Take me there.
My friend always says, not my problem, bro. But what if it was your sister, your mother, your daughter? Gender-based violence is everyone's problem. And good men don't look away. If you see abuse, don't be silent. Report it. Call the SA Police on 10111 or the GBVF Command Center on 0800 428 428. Strong men protect. Strong women stand up. Together, we can end gender-based violence and femicide. Break the vicious cycle. Act now. A message from Government Communications, the GCIS.
Mom, Dad, you're not gonna believe this.
What's up, bud?
Luke's family has a kitchen.
Okay.
Like a real one, with knives and a sink for dishes. His mom was just standing there, making food with her hands. There was a fridge full of vegetables, even broccoli.
Not broccoli.
Oh, the horror. Who needs a kitchen? Simply spend 200 Rand or more and you could win Simply Asia for a year. T's and C's apply. Simply Asia, connecting the Thai way.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Focused on the declining buying power of the South African middle class.
The overall inflation rate, when you see it from stats, say it looks like it's under control. But what you experience, what you engage in with every day, and in South Africa it's mostly food, transport, electricity, paying for waters, etc. Those numbers are significantly higher. And so when you look at your money after you've paid for those items, you have very little left.
Kevin Links is the chief economist at Stanlib.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA CIB, backing the Ideas Fund by advancing capital to African infrastructure investment managers. Your story matters. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good topic. Tyron Rayburg. Tabo, I'm in trouble then. At my age now, if I'm rating myself a 1, where am I really? And as for you, Tabo, 8, absolutely not. Kabazela, 7, absolutely not. Okay.
Good afternoon, Tabo and the team. I don't like this study that you've just reported to us. I'm curious to know what was their methodology. How did they come to the conclusion that they came to? And what was their sample size? And was it a qualitative or a quantitative study? Please give us more information, because from what I'm hearing, yeah, I don't believe what the findings, their findings. Personally, I think we look much better than we think we do, because we live in an age where we are constantly being told what is pretty, what is handsome. And I think if we just looked deeper within ourselves, not into the mirror, but within ourselves, and see what really is the definition of beauty, we are far more beautiful and far more handsome than what we actually see. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. I'll want to do that in a short while. But we do have Alpha Moshwan already in the studio, and I see time is flying. I'll go back to those responses 27 minutes after 3. Alpha, welcome to the studio. Great having you with us. Hope you're well.
Always a pleasure.
Build One South Africa had a press media press conference today, and they wanted to reflect on partly the GNU and also the national dialogue. What did they say?
So good afternoon. The Build One South Africa political party held a media briefing today. The first thing that they addressed was the national dialogue. You would know that since the president announced the formation of the dialogue a few months ago, political parties have pulled out, and now most recently we had the legacy foundations, your Thabo Mbeki Foundation, your Steve Biko Foundation also pulling out of the preparatory committee for the national dialogue. And the Build One South Africa says it will participate in the national dialogue, and it doesn't understand why and how there's so much controversy and politicizing the national dialogue. The political party says that these political parties and organizations that are politicizing the national dialogue risk undermining what it actually seeks to achieve. That when these sectors of society are not there participating in the national dialogue, then what's the point? So they've basically urged the Thabo Mbeki Foundation and the other legacy foundations to consider rejoining the preparatory task team and ensuring that this dialogue, which they've been calling for about 2 years, by the way, is done with the utmost diligence and that it achieves its purpose and not what it seeks to achieve. So they've called on all sectors of society to consider rejoining this dialogue, including the parties that have pulled out, the DA, your Action SA, and so forth.
Sure. But also they touched on the GNU. By the way, they're not part of the GNU, right?
Mm-hmm. So Build One South Africa is an opposition party in Parliament, and they only have 2 seats in the National Assembly. And you would remember that a few weeks ago, the ANC's National Executive Committee resolved to expand the government of national unity and to invite those parties that helped get the budget over the line. And one of those parties is Build One South Africa, Action SA as well. And Musi Maimane says the ANC has not extended that invitation to the ANC, but he says should that invitation come to join the government of national unity, there are a few conditions that they're going to put on the table before joining the GNU. One of them is that if the MK party is in, they are not going to be in the GNU. So they don't want the MK party. They want the ANC and the DA to get rid of their continuous squabbles. They don't want to be in what they call a toxic marriage. And they also say the cabinet is too bloated. Them going into the executive shouldn't bloat the cabinet even further. In fact, they should be having conversations on how to reduce the number of ministers and deputy ministers in cabinet. And those are some of the conditions that they've put on the table. They are saying the EFF and MK, if they're going to be in the GNU, then Build One South Africa is out.
Very presumptuous, given that they haven't been asked to be there. It's like you asking me to come, me suggesting that I don't eat chicken, and you haven't even invited me to dinner. But generally, are they certain that they will join, given if those conditions are adhered to?
Look, the conditions that they've put on the table, according to my observations, are not conditions that can easily be met by the ANC and the parties in the GNU, because they are saying also they don't want, they use the term racist political parties in the GNU, and reading in between the lines, there are 2 political parties that they are talking about, which don't have any intentions of leaving the government of national unity. A bloated cabinet, there is no way that they are going to reduce the number of ministers. The DA wants its fair share of representation in cabinet, and so do all the other political parties. And I don't see them saying, let's cut it down. So I don't see the ANC meeting those demands.
Well, Alpha, we live and learn and we wait and see what will happen. Really appreciate your time as always. Alpha Ramoshwana giving us the very latest. 29 minutes to 4 o'clock. Badly Dlamini standing by with Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon, Buddy.
Thanks, Tabo. Good afternoon. We begin with news just in. Tiger Brands has recalled its Benny beef and chicken flavoured stock cubes due to inaccurate labelling on the packs. The cubes in question have been on sale since 2023. The company, which is already locked in a legal battle over the 2017 listeriosis outbreak, which claimed over 200 lives and infected more than 1,000 people, says it decided to initiate the precautionary recall after consultation with the National Consumer Commission. The products forming part of the recall include the 12, 24 and 48 cube pack sizes with a best before date of the 31st of July 2027 or any date prior. We will have more on the story in our later bulletins. To this now, Build One South Africa leader Mmusi Maimane says his party will not join the government of national unity unless parties he labels as racist or disrespectful of the constitution are excluded. Speaking at a media briefing today, Maimane outlined several conditions that must be met before his party can participate in the national coalition. It comes in response to the ANC's proposal to expand the GNU. Maimane says the ANC is yet to approach Build One South Africa for coalition discussions. Alpha Ramoshwana reports.
Build One South Africa has stressed that effective opposition parties are vital in parliament, and hastily joining the executive could weaken the important role that the opposition is meant to play. Its leader Mmusi Maimane says when talks with the ANC begin, the party will present several conditions before accepting the invitation to join the GNU.
In our engagement, we are going to engage on the basis of the following: that the composition cannot just bloat the cabinet, which has already been the most bloated cabinet we've seen in democratic history. That adding political parties like MK and many others will simply complicate the issue.
He says BOSA has no interest in entering into a toxic marriage.
South Africa is in crisis, so I'm not going to be invited into a fight between the ANC and the DA.
Other parties have expressed that expanding the GNU wouldn't solve its current structural and ideological challenges. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
To this now, police have arrested 5 learners and a parent who have been disrupting learning at the Tshwane Secondary School in Ekurhuleni. The arrests come after a series of reported incidents about the group, including bullying as well as intimidation. It's alleged that they recently attacked a grade 12 camp by pelting stones and damaging newly replaced school doors while also setting fire to the toilets. The Provincial Education Department says yesterday the group threatened teachers and pupils with knives, robbing them of their cell phones and money during school hours. Tandoluhle Ngcobo has more.
The department says one of the arrested learners had recently been suspended for assaulting another learner with a chair, but he continued to forcefully return to the school despite the suspension. The teachers at the school have since expressed the fear of their safety, with some unable to return to class due to intimidation. Spokesperson Steve Mabona.
Today, the perpetrators allegedly disrupted schooling and also the grade 12 preliminary examination.
He says the parents of one of the learners who was also arrested had allegedly been fueling the disruptions and was also part of some of the attacks. The department has condemned the incidents, citing that it will provide psychosocial support to the school. Tandoluhle Ngcobo, Eyewitness News.
In your weather, it's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 27 and 28 degrees.
Devland roadwork still causing heavy delays on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union. Protea Glen, we still have bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N12 westbound. This is from the R554 Abu Bakr Drive all the way to the R558.
The top story in EWN is the breaking news this hour. Tiger Brands has recalled its Benny beef and chicken flavoured stock cubes due to inaccurate labelling on the packs.
When you vote in Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko, you don't just support a business, you help rewrite its future.
Gauteng's greatest
powered by Yoko, impacted our business in a very positive way. We've had a lot more feed coming through the restaurant. It's given us a lot more traction in the market, and we've seen a lot more new faces. As Grumpy's Cafe, I would encourage people to go onto Prime Media Plus and vote for their favorite establishment.
How it impacted my business, I think, is mostly through increased awareness of my brand. I think it expanded our reach a bit. And I think the biggest thing that I felt was just a kind of a buzz and an energy in the shop. I love books. We would encourage you to cast your vote at Prime Media Plus.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Your vote is more than a click. It could be a game changer for your favorite local business. Vote now on primemediaplus.com.
Ready to lead and make our world a better place, Regenesis School of Education proudly launches its revolutionary Bachelor of Education program. They don't just develop teachers, they develop conscious leaders equipped with IQ, STEM, AI, and emotional intelligence, studying the heart of Sandton or online worldwide, with a world-class faculty trusted by over 1,000 corporations and 500,000 alumni from 150 countries. Enroll now at regenesis.net/education. Regenesis School of Education, awakening potential.
Do you know what's hiding behind the colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front of package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front of package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by the 30th of September.
Dear Journal, trying to be an adult day 3471. Fridays at work used to be great. 3 p.m., laptops off, music on, even a cheeky beer. Now I just sit with Teams open and pray that Monet from Finance doesn't message me at 4:57 p.m.
Hating the corporate 9 to 5? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's easy and like 19 Rand a day, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
The 12th edition of the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, is here. Experience unbeatable vibes this heritage weekend at the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit on the 20th and 21st of September. On Saturday, 20th, catch Don Toliver, Questa, Inkabi Zezwe, and more. Then on Sunday 21, don't miss the iconic Lauryn Hill on her 25th anniversary tour with special guests Wycliffe Jean, YG Mali, and Zion Mali with Lyra. Mandi Sijanchis, Zoe Mudeja also performing on the Sunday. Tickets at Ticketmaster, the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star and proudly supported by 702.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
The scale ends at 10. It's a pity because I'm a very good 111. But yes, okay, bye.
Good afternoon, guys. You know, they say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So when I look at myself in the mirror, I give myself an 8. But if I look at myself in a picture, I give myself a 4. That's why I don't take selfies. I prefer the look in the mirror compared to the look on a selfie or on a picture.
I think most people see themselves less beautiful than what they actually are. So they would give themselves a lower rating than what other people would give them.
Yeah. I mean, if you've just joined us and you're thinking, what are we all talking about? Earlier on, I was speaking to both Garabo and Jonathan Ferben about a survey that I was checking out somewhere, and I'll post it on my Twitter and Facebook pages. The survey was saying that we look at ourselves subjectively when we look at our images in the mirror, meaning that what you see in the mirror is not an accurate reflection of what is really taking place in real life as far as your looks are concerned. And they go on to suggest that you are less attractive, I should say. You are less attractive than you are in person than when you look at yourself in the mirror, simply because there's a subjectivity in our eyes, our minds, and our perception when we face the mirror. We think of ourselves highly, and it comes subconsciously, I'd like to believe. And there was a very interesting voice note that came through, and someone was asking me about whether it was qualitative, quantitative, and the sample that was used, and all the research models. I don't even have the 3 questions that were asked. So it was something that I read. I'm happy to post it. And you do know that when these things are published, the model is often not given in detail. I'll have to find perhaps the academic paper as to where that stands. But generally, how do you see yourself? And that was a question. When you look into the mirror, are you a 1 or are you a 10? 10 being most hot, attractive, yummy, beautiful, gorgeous. Or are you a 1? I'm not going to help the mirror or I'm not going to help people to criticize me. I see an 8, and that's my truth. 18 minutes to 4.
EWN Sport.
Something that is always accurate is definitely the sporting bulletins by Tholakele Mkanga. She's standing by to give us the very latest. Good afternoon, Tholakele.
Afternoon, Thabo. Aruslam Madu says a major burden has been lifted off his shoulders after Orlando Pirates claimed a 1-0 win over Stellenbosch in the Bedway Premiership. Wadu had a rough start to his league tenure after surprise losses to Skokuna United and Marumo Gallants. That's in the Buccaneers' opening 2 games.
I'm very happy about the commitment, the involvement, the concentration of the players. We could have scored maybe 2-3 more goals. The positive today, it was the clean sheet. Set pieces. I was happy about the strength of our team. But of course, I'm happy with my staff. I'm happy about all the department of the club. They are working well. They are doing a fantastic job.
Peter Shalulile has moved level with Siyabonga Nomvete on the all-time PSL scoring charts, having netted his 129th goal in Mamelodi Sundowns' 2-0 win over Magesi last night. At the same time, Itiski Times is reporting that Lucas Ribeiro Costa has requested to terminate his contract with the Brazilians and has referred the matter to the FIFA Football Tribunal. Ribeiro has been absent from training amid links to Qatar SC and Fluminense. Switching over to the Rugby Championship, where Fraser McWright will captain Australia in Saturday's test against South Africa in Cape Town as he takes over from the injured Harry Wilson. Rob Valentini will replace Wilson at 8th man, while Corey Toole will make his debut, having been named at the left wing. For Jean-Luc Deprez and his double World Cup winning teammates, they're looking to avoid back-to-back upsets against the Wallabies.
We're expecting much of the same. We need to give credit to the Aussies. They did quite well. Their turnover attack cut us up a little bit. So for us, it was just working on our defense this week. It's actually my first test start in 7 years. So yeah, that speaks for itself. I would just like to do my best for the team and get us on the front foot, and hopefully we can do a good job on Saturday.
And Will Guinea has announced his retirement from rugby at the age of 37. The scrum half is a former Wallabies captain and represented his nation at 3 World Cups. He appeared 110 times for his country over a 10-year international career, making him the 7th most capped Wallaby of all time. Tholakele Mkanga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
And the latest on our roads, Mr. Karabo Chali. Traffic lights that are not working, routes that are busy. Is it mild, high, or low?
Well, some good news is that we don't have any accidents seen, no serious accident scenes at this hour. However, it is peak hour traffic, so things are picking up. Alex, traveling towards Germiston, N3 South. Expect some delays. This is between the Butlu Interchange and London Road. In Midrand, traffic is sluggish heading towards Pretoria, N1 North, from the Butlu Interchange all the way to Samrand. Devland, we still have those roadworks causing heavy delays on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. Protea Glen, traffic remains heavily backed up. This is heading into Lenasia. N12 westbound between the R554 Abu Bakr Drive and the R558. Look out for those faulty traffic lights in the Edenvale area, Modderfontein Road and Van Riebeck, as well as in Randburg at Malibongo Drive and Mahogany. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. 702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
15 minutes to 4 o'clock. Thabo in for John. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Tolagele is in the studio. Hey, Tolagele, you good?
I'm good, and you, Thabo?
Just like Kaizer Chiefs thinks highly of itself, the Mirror is obviously lying to a
What
number
a
of
segue.
us. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted a sporting equivalent of what I want to introduce to you. So I was reading this very interesting survey, an article about a survey that suggests that we are less attractive than we think we are, particularly when we look into the mirror. So when you look into the mirror, you see a very gorgeous, beautiful Tolagele. Yeah, she may be, but not as hot as you see when you're looking into the mirror, because there's subjectivity, there's bias. You are not really objective. So in real life, the survey suggests, not me, you're not as hot as you think you are, because the mirror is lying to you. And so the question that we want to ask, when you look into the mirror, are you a 1 or a 10?
An
10
11.
being hot.
An 11.
I
I'm
knew
so sorry.
It. I knew it.
11.
This is where this talker stops. Thank you, Karabo. Let's move on to the next interview.
No, you know, as you're talking about it, I'm just thinking, like, first of all, who decides what are the beauty standards? And also, if you yourself don't tell yourself that you're the baddest that there's ever been, who's going to do it for you?
All those questions are valid, but they are not material to this pertinent issue that the mirror is deceiving your level of attractiveness, whatever the definition may be. So you are obviously using a biased definition of attractiveness. That, as it may be, whatever it is, that definition, it's still exaggerated. Whatever it is.
And that's fine. Because
that's okay. Yes.
Ultimately, I'm the one that has to live this life and navigate societal pressure, the comparison with other people. So if the mirror is saying to you, you are a lot more attractive, please be the if in your head the most beautiful person in the world is Beyonce, understand that you are number 2. And there's no one else that can tell you anything.
Speaking of Beyonce,
yes,
Chris Rock suggests that Beyonce would not have even considered Jay-Z if Jay-Z didn't have money.
Who doesn't like to be comfortable?
But Jay-Z, if he was even richer than he is now, he still would have considered Beyonce.
She's the standard.
Who's to say? Oh, excuse me. Who's to say? Who's to say?
Society says that she's the standard. And in the same way, even if he had married Mary from Soweto, and he was like, that's the most beautiful woman that he's ever seen, we will agree with it, because all of these definitions of beauty, how you should view yourself, they should come from you. They should never come from anyone else.
So for the record, you are an 11.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
072 702 1702 11 2 4.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
The death of farmers is always a tragic situation. But the politicization of the death of our farmers, for what I believe is the monetization of the fear and the pain, is just as diabolical as the trivialization of anybody's death. There are certain organizations and certain agendas that have seen this as an opportunity. But the underlying racism that sustains the narrative that says that the blacks are out to kill the white farmers is most unfortunate.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
Every pothole, power cut, or burst pipe tells a story of frustration. But how that story ends up is up to you. Fix Local helps you report local issues, escalate them, or as a last resort, fix them yourself, safely and legally. It empowers you with tools to work with or hold local government to account so you can build the neighborhood you deserve. Visit fixlocal.org.za to take up issues in your area. 702 supports Fix Local. Let's walk the talk and fix local together.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for pharmacies, convenience stores, beauty salons, and more. Corne,
Business insurance is definitely the best insurance for my business. Sold out every other insurance house. Honestly, looking at what you need, my installment came down within a day. Definitely the most professional.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Babe,
Yeah?
the fridge light finally stopped flickering.
Yeah, I replaced it.
You replaced it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, on your own?
Yep.
You know what that means.
Party! Every excuse is a great one when you've got balloons, bubbles, gift wrap, cards, candles, and dress up.
I'm calling it the Fridge Light Festival!
The Crazy Store. Hey, you never know what you might find to have a good party.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
702 indeed. Thanks for joining us. I'm Thabo and I'm in for John. We're together till 6. Feel free to keep those voice notes. Messages coming through on 072, excuse me, 072 702 1702. 9 minutes to 4 o'clock. And we just, during this time, we have very interesting feature where we speak to Be The Reason campaign with TransUnion. My guest joins us right now on Zoom, Lee Rake, CEO of TransUnion Africa. Lee, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. Lee, you might need to press the button there to unmute yourself. I don't know if that's the issue. Third time lucky. Lee is there. Oh, Garabo is nodding. It means Lee is there. Lee, hi. Let's try one more time. Welcome to 702. You good? Okay, I see that we're battling to get hold of Lee. We'll come back to that interview. It's 8 minutes to 4 o'clock.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
What kind of message does this send around criminality policing?
We can, from our side as MPs, and that is certainly what we do as a trio. This is the work that we do. Now, we won't be able to fix the police overnight, but on this journey of fixing the police, we also need communities to take responsibility. And whether that is to be a witness or whether that is to see what's going on with at your neighbor's house, with your son, your daughter, everybody has to take responsibility.
Nicholas Gottsell, DA-MP.
The Midday Report.
With Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
Mom, Dad, you're not gonna believe this.
What's up, bud?
Luke's family has a kitchen.
Okay.
Like a real one, with knives and a sink for dishes. His mom was just standing there, making food with her hands. There was a fridge full of vegetables, even broccoli.
Not broccoli.
Oh, the horror. Who needs a kitchen? Simply spend 200 Rand or more and you could win Simply Asia for a year. T's and C's apply. Simply Asia, connecting the Thai way.
At the heart of global conversations shaping our future, Africa's voice is more important than ever. As proud lead sponsor of the B20, the Standard Bank Group is honored to showcase the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Because driving Africa's growth isn't just our ambition, it's our purpose. Tune in every Monday from 3 p.m. for the Standard Bank B20 in brief for key insights and updates around the B20. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
6 minutes to 4 o'clock. Credit bureaus are often misunderstood. A lot of us think that they are just scorekeepers and they are just keeping us away from accessing that wonderful credit line that you need to get from the bank or any other service provider. And in this particular segment of the show, we try to explore more, especially about TransUnion. And we want to know more about the credit score providers and particularly TransUnion. What is it that they do other than telling people that we're not credit worthy? Lee Rake joins us. Lee, I hope you can hear me. I hope I can hear you. Are you well?
Thabo, hi, I'm well, thank you. How are you, Thabo?
I'm free, I'm happy. I'm more so that I'm talking to you now. Let's go straight to it because we don't have a lot of time, Lee. Can you explain the scale of financial exclusion in South Africa? How many people are affected? And generally, what is the economic impact and why should every citizen care about this?
Well, Talbot, today in South Africa, there's some 16 million adults that are excluded from the financial system. And if you think about why we're going to solve the problem, today in South Africa, 31 years after our democracy, we aren't where we want to be as a country on the continent. And if you think about having a better life for all South Africans, the real question is, are we using the tools and the techniques to find the hope in people and give them a chance to access finances? We still have the highest disparity of income anywhere in the world. And the challenge for us as TransUnion is how we think innovatively about driving inclusion.
And what is TransUnion really doing differently to address this challenge? Because it's very serious, and exclusion means that you can't participate actively in the economic life of the country and financially yourself.
Absolutely. Well, today we launched something called Be the Reason as a campaign, as a movement. And what we're trying to say is that for consumers, we need to take charge of our financial health. We have the tools, we have the credit reports, we have the credit scores. For many South Africans, we have apathy and we are not participating because we are negative about the future of the country. So on one hand, for you and I, Tabo, to have our access to a home loan, to a car, to propose to our girlfriend, we're going to find a way to have a better financial health. And as Africans in general, we don't have as much literacy, but be it financial or credit health. And today we launched a campaign that said to every individual, you need to start taking control of your credit health. You got to find a way to peel away the layers that say no to financial inclusion. Equally so as TransUnion, we've been working really hard over these last few years to find a way to create hope and tell the banks and the lenders that Thabo and Lee are good enough to access finance by finding new ways in all these technologies and data to find the hope in people. And our view is that if consumers start to want to participate actively, and if banks and lenders say we want to drive the growth of the economy and make it a better life for all South Africans, then actually we can in fact grow the economy. And Thabo, we've worked out that if we all work together to drive participation of the 16 million people, we think that could add some 180 billion rand to the GDP of South Africa.
And that's a big, big, big number. Lee, sadly, we run out of time. I'm hoping that next week we can touch on other things. I also wanted to know a little bit about credit score, because that seems like a swear word in South Africa whenever that is raised. But really appreciate your time. Let's catch up again very soon, and then we'll ventilate on those other outstanding issues. Lee Rake is with TransUnion, where he is Chief Executive Officer. 2 minutes to 4.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Tavo. For a two-man party, this poll one South Africa certainly gets a lot of airtime. I don't know who will take them actually seriously under these conditions. This is Faisal. Cheers.
Hi, 702. This is Amos. Hey, I'm hot, hotter than the core of the sun. I'm hot. No one is hotter than me on planet Earth. I'm hot, even more than Mrs. Universe. I'm hot. Amos from Pretoria.
Well, in case you're wondering what that is all about, we asked earlier on, when you look at yourself in the mirror, do you see a 1 or a 10? 10 being very good, 1 being poorly so. And that's on the backdrop of an article that quoted a survey saying that the mirror is lying to us. We are not as attractive as we think we are. We are looking at ourselves subjectively as opposed to objectively. Feel free to skip those voice notes coming through on 011-883-0702. Alternatively, you could easily call us on 011-883-0702. You're still on 702. Remember, just after 4 o'clock, we'll touch on a number of issues that we promised you, including the David and Goliath story theme that we have been going with, about a 73-year-old lady, Anna van der Merwe, who's been looking for some help in public hospitals and finding very little joy. It's exactly 4 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Tiger Brands announces a recall of popular Benny stock cubes, and Tshwane Mayor not willing to go to jail as a court deadline looms. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Lamini. Tiger Brands has recalled its Benny beef and chicken flavoured stock cubes due to inaccurate labelling on the packs. The cubes in question have been on sale since 2023. The company, which is already locked in a legal battle over the 2017 listeriosis outbreak, which claimed over 200 lives and infected more than 1,000 people, says it decided to initiate the precautionary recall after consultation with the National Consumer Commission. The products forming part of this recall include the 12, 24 and 48 cube pack sizes with a best before date of the 31st of July 2027 or any date prior to that. We will have more on this story in our upcoming bulletins. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says he will not be responding to claims by his deputy Shadrack Sibiya that he acted unlawfully by placing him on special leave. Speaking on the sidelines of a 420 million rand drug destruction operation in Gauteng today, Masemola says he will allow the courts to make a determination on the matter. The comments come as the police service faces intense scrutiny over leadership battles and questions of accountability. Mongezi Gogo reports.
In July, Masemola directed Sibiya to take a leave of absence after KZN Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi alleged he diverted political killings dockets to his office where they were allegedly neutralized. Sibiya has taken the matter to court, arguing the decision was unfair and unlawful. The legal dispute plays out as the Madlanga Commission begins its work probing corruption and criminal infiltration across law enforcement and the justice system. The outcome of the court battle is expected to have a direct impact on stability within the police's top leadership. Masemola says he has no intentions to make it a public spectacle.
It will be ventilated at court, so let's not create another platform to adjudicate on it here now on the street. Let it be adjudicated at court at the right place where it's supposed to happen.
Masemola says his focus remains fighting crime across the country. Mongezi Gogo, Eyewitness News.
Tshwane Mayor Dr. Nasiphi Moya says she does not expect to see the inside of a prison cell as the city rushes to comply with a court order to fix the troubled fresh produce market. This follows threats of a 1-month prison sentence suspended for 1 year after the Metro was found guilty of contempt of court. This was for not complying with an October 2022 judgment which ordered the municipality to upgrade and maintain that market. Amongst other things, the city was ordered to ensure that the market is fire and smoke detection compliant. Moya says addressing the market's shortcomings is top of the agenda ahead of the court's deadline and the city's upcoming inaugural investment summit. Nogukanya Mdambo has the details.
In January 2022, the Institute of Market Agents took the municipality under a different administration to task for failing to maintain the Tshwane fresh produce market. The current administration now has until next month to submit a precinct plan addressing the occupational and health issues. Tshwane Mayor Nasiphi Moya says a precinct plan was finalized at a MACO meeting yesterday and an operational plan is also available to IMASA.
We need the fresh produce market to work, and as this administration will do whatever it takes to make that work and that our clients, they benefit from the market. I'm too cute for jail, so no, I'm planning not to go to jail.
She says above the court order, Tshwane has also approved a market bylaw to help run the facility in a transparent manner. Nogukanya Mdambo, Eyewitness News.
Postbank has assured grant beneficiaries that they will continue to receive their funds as usual. This after false reports that the company's master service agreement is expiring and will in turn affect beneficiaries. Postbank has urged grant recipients to disregard the reports, emphasizing that the absence of the MSA does not affect SASSA payments. Chief Commercial Officer at Postbank, Thamsanqa Cele, says there is no need for beneficiaries to change their payment methods or to open new bank accounts.
In spite of unfortunate media utterances in relation to SASSA and Postbank contract coming to an end, which is not entirely true, but in spite of that, we just want to assure beneficiaries that their grant will not and cannot be interrupted.
And in the U.S., the Menendez brothers' long-awaited parole hearings are set to begin today. Lyle and Eric Menendez will be appearing before the California Parole Board to seek freedom more than 35 years after the shotgun murders of their parents in the family's Beverly Hills home. Eric will be appearing this afternoon while Lyle appears tomorrow. The critical hearings come after a judge recently ruled to re-sentence the brothers, making them eligible for release for the first time since they were convicted of the 1989 murders. The pair claimed that they had acted in self-defense after years of emotional and sexual abuse at the hands of their controlling father. Gold is trading at $3,340.43 an ounce. The rand is at 17.68 to the dollar, 23.80 to the pound, 20.59 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $66.84 a barrel.
Alexandra travelling towards Germiston, traffic pressure N3 South between the Petrol Interchange and London Road. Also in Devland, we still have those roadworks on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue, and in Protea Lane, bumper-to-bumper traffic N12 westbound from the R554 Abu Bakr Drive all the way to the R558.
In your sport, Orlando Pirates finally off the mark in the Betway Premiership. Lucas Ribeiro Costa turns to FIFA in his quest to get his Mamelodi Sundowns contract terminated, and Fraser McWright to captain Australia in their second Rugby Championship test against South Africa.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg dropping to overnight lows of 11 degrees, peaking at 28. Pretoria 11 and 29, and Vereeniging 6 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: Tiger Brands has recalled its Benny beef and chicken flavored stock cubes due to inaccurate labeling on the packs.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7.
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 4 o'clock, you are on 702. Thanks very much for staying with us. My name is Thabo Sholemashaw. I'm in for John Perlman, and we're together till 6. Really great spending some time with you. In this hour, we will speak to the police about the destructed medicines and drugs, unregistered medicines worth over 420 million rands in the province of Gauteng. Atlanta Mati, national spokesperson for South African Police Service, will join us for that discussion. We'll also speak to a Gauteng resident, Anna van der Merwe, who's had a medical condition and is battling to get assistance in various hospitals, and her condition is very serious. We'll touch base on that, and also we did seek help with the Department of Health to join us for that conversation. We are yet to hear as to whether they will or not. Then your house, your home, how to diagnose damp in the home. You know, those damp walls, and they can be problematic, and sometimes they turn dark, gray and black, and it just doesn't look good. Tian Dutoy, property inspector, will help us with that. In the meantime, keep those voice notes coming through on 072 702 1702.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Hi, brother. Hope you're well, man. Hey, man, you know, we see different people every day. So it's not about you lying to yourself, but how you comparing yourself to that guy that you saw. You understand? Then you're like, you know what? I'm a bit better than this guy. That guy was a 4. Then at least you give yourself a 7. If you bump into someone who looks better than you, you know, you're like, okay, he's on my level or he's just on top. So I feel like rating ourselves is also based on the people you see. There, now when you look in the mirror, you're like, hi, brother, I'm not bad at all. You know, because, hey, some of these guys out there, man, yeah, vultures.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier on. Keep those voice notes coming through, including your text messages. There were some text messages that I neglected to look into a little bit earlier on. I'll revisit them in a short while. 011-883-0702. This one says, my mirror is very unkind. We are not seeing one another anymore. Well, that's very interesting. And I'll read some more voice notes and voice messages and your text messages in a short while. 10 minutes after 4.
EWN Traffic.
And that is with Karabo Charlie. This EWN Traffic is brought to you by cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you. Mr. Charlie, the roads, how do they look?
Well, in the Garsfontein area, that's Pretoria, expect some delays on Solomon Mahlangu. That's between Garsfontein Road and Atterbury due to ongoing roadworks. Otherwise, the city of Tshwane not looking too bad. No serious accidents have been reported. In Joburg, Alexander heading towards Germiston, traffic pressure N3 south from the between to change all the way to London Road. Also in Devland, we still have those roadworks causing heavy delays if you're traveling into Eldorado Park on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. In Protea Glen, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N12 westbound. That's from the R554 Abu Bakr Drive all the way to the R558. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Hey, Jim, what's wrong? Hi, Bob. I'm just so confused. I'm trying to buy a car, and I don't know where to stop. Well, have you tried to... Cars.coza. Have you tried to... Cars.coza. Sorry, we're trying to do an advert.
Whatever car you want to buy or sell, cut through the and just go to cars.coza and let's find what moves you. Cars.coza.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
In the past 3 years, police have destroyed almost 5.3 billion worth of drugs, including mandrax, cocaine, and heroin. And this morning, they destroyed unregistered medicines and drugs worth 420 million rand in Gauteng. Brigadier Athlenda Mati joins us to give us some more info on that. Good afternoon, Brigadier. Really appreciate your time. I hope you're well.
Good afternoon to you and to your listeners.
Where do these drugs come from that you destroyed this morning?
Well, they come from various parts of the country. These are drugs and unregistered medicines that were collected by our men and women in blue during operations. They come from your KZN. They come from some of them the Northwest, various ports of entry. You will recall that in the last, 2 years, we have seized about 1 billion worth of cocaine at the Durban port of entry. It's one of those hotspot ports that we focus our operations on. And they come from, obviously, our raids and crime intelligence-driven operations.
And how do you destroy them?
So I can't really destroy them, but obviously it's a process. We've got an external company that does that for us. But basically, they are placed in fire, they're destroyed so that we remove them permanently from society. We ensure that young people, mostly, according to stats, are the users of drugs, and they are being targeted as runners and as drug users. So we ensure that we destroy them so that we permanently remove them from society.
And obviously, this is part of your national strategy to cut supply and break the back of gangs and criminal syndicates. Clearly, this is a big problem. I mean, which are the hot spots, especially around the CBDs? Where are we most likely to flag these areas coming to drugs? Because, of course, a lot of children falling victim to this, notwithstanding the fact that, I don't know if it's included in your definition, things like Nyau, Petik and others, if they fall in that same category.
No, absolutely. We are looking everywhere in the CBD on farms because we see of late on farms, that's where drugs are being manufactured. So they're disguising as your poultry or livestock farms, but at the back of that, you find that people are manufacturing drugs on those premises. So we have been able really to dismantle all those drug labs. But we are also looking around the Western Cape. We know we have a serious gang violence around the Western Cape, in Gauteng, places like your Westbury, Sophia Town, where the real fight is over the drugs, basically. So you will recall that in the last 2 weeks in the Western Cape alone, about 30 people have been killed. And when you analyze and you investigate, it's all drug related. But also in those 2 weeks, we have managed to arrest 37 gangsters that were taken in for questioning. 10 of them have already appeared before various courts and so on. And I think in the Western Cape in particular, if I can single it out, in a period of 4 months, we have arrested more than 21,000 people, suspects for drug-related crime, from dealing and being in possession of drugs.
And it's mainly the syndicates, right? And given that you have the runners, as you've just mentioned, but the problem lies with syndicates, these masterminds right at the top who are using oftentimes children, youngsters, people who just want to have fun and then they are hooked in drugs. But how far are you with cracking these big syndicates?
Look, we have been able to make inroads in terms of cracking the syndicates, the masterminds. You'll recall in Standerton when we seized about 6 high-end vehicles, your Range Rovers, your Mercedes-Benzes, and in the Mercedes-Benz, we actually got 3 million in cash in a boot of a Mercedes. So we believe those, when we do our investigations, those are some of the masterminds behind the drug trade and so on. Even in the Western Cape, there have been those gangsters that are also involved in extortion and drugs that we have arrested, and they are still in custody. So it is a step in the right direction, but we still need to get to more drug kingpins, and we can only do so with the assistance of the community.
Speaking of which, how do communities assist?
Communities can assist with information, but I can tell you what the other challenge that we're having is that the gangsters have infiltrated the community so much so that communities don't want to talk, to speak up against them or report them, because we do have this challenge of inequality, unemployment. So these gangsters put food on the table. Our biggest challenge is that the gangsters are the ones that are putting food on the table.
Yes.
So when you are asking for the cooperation from the communities, they simply refuse, because then you are taking away their source of income. You are taking away the source of the people that put food on the table for them.
Well, crime line. Remind us of the number again, please.
Always 600 10 111. You may remain anonymous. We also have MySAPS app. You can also share details on MySAPS app on any type of crime, any gang-related activity in your area, and we will surely get to the bottom of it. I mean, just this week, 17,000 suspects arrested, 165 illegal firearms being seized. That is the work of the police. So it goes to show that when we have the cooperation of the community, we can certainly do more.
Brigadier Athlenda Mate, sub-spokesperson, thanks very much for your time. 19 minutes after 4.
702 Podcast
on primemediaplus.com.
You'd remember we had a chat, I think it was a day or two ago, with Reverend Ngondo about the car mechanic. And today we are speaking to Anna van der Merwe, resident of Gauteng, about her condition. She's 73 years old and she's been going in and out of hospital trying to get urgent medical attention, and she has been receiving very little, mainly because she says that she does not have medical aid, and she's been getting little joy from public hospitals. And Anna joins us right now on the line. Anna, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're well.
Good afternoon, Thabo. Yes, I'm very well. Thanks. Yourself?
I'm all good. Anna, please just briefly, because we don't have a lot of time, give us just a brief background of the story and your condition and how you've gone to the hospitals and what they said to you.
Okay. First of all, when I went to my doctor, just because I haven't got medical aid, but I was standing behind, so I didn't have the money to go, but eventually I had to go. And then I was diagnosed with a grade 4 sister cell, that is a prolapse. And the next morning, after I went to my doctor, I had to go to the Laratong's hospital casualty. So my kids had to take me there because I couldn't urine at all. So they had to clear my bladder. And in 3 weeks' time, I had to go 4 times. And every time they said to me, they can put in a ring, but they haven't got. But I mean, it's 4 times now, they still haven't got it. And then eventually I went to Joburg Gen or Charlotte Macheka. And I was sitting there after a while. When I've got my file, I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And then 2 people came and asked me some questions, the same questions over and over again. And by 5 o'clock, I haven't seen anybody at that stage. So 5:20, I signed myself out. And then I tried to get hold of another gynae and just to get some relief because it was very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Let's stop there for a second, Anna, and just to understand your condition a little bit better. So you couldn't relieve yourself. So in order to do that, you'd need to go to the hospital in order for them to do that, to help you relieve yourself. Do I have
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and every time it was plus minus 2 liters that they drain.
Yeah.
So
but that seems a bit urgent, and that seemed as if it needed more attention. What did the doctors or the health practitioners say when you got to the hospital and they saw this condition?
No, they didn't. They just asked, got a gynae in and they drained it. And then they said to me, phone the next day and make an appointment at the gynae clinic for the 1st of August. I did that. I went on the 1st of August. Somebody took my file. I haven't seen a consulting room from the inside. Then somebody else brought my file back. Says, now you must go for a pap smear first, and when you get the results, then you'll come back. We'll give you a date for that. Then they gave me a date for 13 October, and that was the 1st of August that I was there and did not even see anybody. Then I went to a municipal clinic for the pap smear, and I asked them, how long will it take? No, it takes 4 to 6 weeks. So I said, but can't you just push it a little bit? No, there's piles of stuff, and just remember it's government. And that is when I decided, no, I can't do it anymore. So that's why the last Monday passed. I went to another gynae, a private gynae, and she put in a ring, and immediately it was a relief. I can go now to the toilet and have a nice wee, if I can mention it like that. And so I need to go to Charlotte Macheka because they made an appointment for the 1st of September, so I can see a urogynecologist there, and then they will decide if I do need an operation or whatever what they will do. So I still need to wait.
Anna, and the reason that we're talking to you is because this condition is not just a headache or a sore arm that you can literally withstand for a couple of days and tolerate the pain up until you get surgery or something. This is literally going to the toilet. I don't know how many times I've been to the bathroom today, but it means that you would need to go to the hospital in order to relieve yourself.
That's correct, yes. That was what
And the
happened.
doctors didn't see any urgency in that situation. They didn't see the need to help you almost immediately because it seems like a dire need.
No, they don't care. Because they just relieved myself, and then they signed me out, and then I can go home. And that was that. And a week later, I had to go back again.
Yeah.
So as I said, in 3 weeks' time, I had to wake my son 4 times in the morning to take me there. And that is always 1:30 in the morning, 2:00 in the mornings. And that is when it happens.
So, Anna, right now, as much as you have temporary relief, you still need surgery. You still
Absolutely.
need some attention, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And
Definitely.
have they given you a date at the hospital as to when you should go to get some bit of permanent assistance?
That will be the 1st of September at the Charlotte Macheta, and then they will see what the condition is and if I need surgery or what else.
So it's
So
not
now I
for
still-
surgery, it's still to check.
Still to check, yes. And then if they decide for surgery, then I will have to wait for when they give me a date. And that can even take another month or 2 months' time.
I mean,
So
what would
I
have
really don't-
happened if you didn't get a good Samaritan to take you to a private gynae? You'd still need to wait to go to the hospital to relieve yourself and wait in a queue, and they attend to you, and that's only when you could go to the bathroom.
Yeah. At the moment, after this, the ring that this gynae put in on Monday, I can go and relieve myself now, absolutely. And it is quite a relief for me now.
Well, I'm glad for the fact that you've got some temporary assistance and relief, but clearly you still need to go back to the hospital and get permanent help. Anna, I want to thank you for coming through and giving us a sensitive detail on your health condition. You didn't have to do that, but I assume it's not just only you who's in that queue. There are a number of people who are suffering in the same way, and they don't have a voice, and they don't have perhaps platforms to raise this. And you are a representative of other individuals out there who need special attention.
Well, I hope I can help other people as well, yes. And because that was not a nice way to live, and that for 5 weeks without really attention.
Yeah. Anna, thank you so much. Anna van der Merwe was speaking to us about her health condition. Truly amazing. But we did try to get hold of the health department. The back and forth, the less I say about it, the better. Because it appears as if people are just trying to shift responsibilities and they're supposed to be really handling matters. And they would ask, did she get hold of the Department of Health to complain? You know, and the reason that we are speaking to an ordinary person in the streets about this is to highlight a serious problem. So that it's not Tabo, it's not Stephen who opens the microphone and you'd say that he's privileged to do so. This is the voice of an ordinary person who's highly dependent on the public health system. 27 minutes after 4.
EWN Business.
With Stephen Grotes, who is joining us right now to give us the very latest in the world of finances, markets, and everything else. Steve, welcome.
Thank you very much indeed, Tabo. Good afternoon to you. With the JSE All Share up 0.61%. A bit of corporate news out today. There at the JSE All Share now 101,607 points. Financials up 0.1. Industrials down 0.27. And then a strong day for resources. They're up 2.56. So gold prices are slightly higher. Platinum too, and that having a little bit of an impact. And then a few results out as well, which is having an impact. So DRD Gold yesterday, they had their results. Their shares are up nearly 13%, and that was after quite a strong revenue showing. Obviously, gold prices much higher. Exxaro up 8.5% at the moment. They're saying their revenue for the 6 months to the end of June was up by 8%. Attributable profit was up by 11%. Tubble, that's despite lower coal prices. So what they were able to do is they were able to cut costs. They've been in this process for a little while. Their investments and other things have done quite well. And so that's really the reason that Exxaro's been able to do well. It's the first set of results under Ben Magara.
Yeah.
You remember him, of course.
And I'm wondering about coal prices because they went down, I think, a couple of months ago. And did they manage to recover, Steve?
So coal prices, not necessarily. They're off their sort of COVID peaks, if I can call it that. So some of the coal miners did very nicely during that period. You remember the long queues, trying to get as much product as possible when the trains weren't working. So that dynamic is still there, but not as bad. And then a lot of other countries are also investing in their old coal coal production for their own energy security. The Spur Group also reporting, I felt this was interesting, their turnover was up by 8%. That's despite the fact they say that most people don't have any more disposable income. They also say they're getting slightly more money per diner. Now, here's all I want to know is it going to dessert or is it going to beer? I mean, it's got to be going to one of those things. You're either having an extra beer or you're having a dessert.
Do you need to guess between the two? The latter takes the trophy.
Well, it depends if you have children. Chico the Clown or whatever it was. Pick and Pay is up 3.98 and Blue Label Telecom up 4%. They're actually up stronger earlier. They did say their headline earnings per share will be up by over 500%. They're in the middle of a planned restructuring, and that's been boosting their share price recently. Sun International down nearly 1.5%, Mondelez down 1.1%, and Standard Bank down 1%. And then the Maz Group, the center of that takeover bid, the minority shareholders have proposed 4 directors to be sort of nominated at their extraordinary general meeting. Those directors have now withdrawn their candidacy, but the Maz Group is down 1% on the day so far. A very interesting thing happening in the US. So what we're seeing is money coming out of tech stocks over fears that they've been overvalued. For the last 10 years, you've been told if you've got money, put it in US tech stocks. Now everyone's going, oh, maybe not. Investors, trouble. The Dow Jones is down 0.21. The Nasdaq is down 0.14. The S&P 500 is down 0.17. The gold price, $3,342.31 an ounce. Platinum, $1,342.46. Brent crude, $66.34 an ounce. And then the rand to the dollar, 17.69 to the euro, 20.57 to the British pound, 23.78. Stephen Grotus, EWN Business.
Thanks very much, SG. Mbali Dlamini standing by with EWN headlines. Mbali, what's the latest? Good afternoon.
Well, Thabo, a very good afternoon. Parliament's chairpersons on health and education say they will not allow undocumented migrants to continue being blocked from entering health facilities and schools. They've condemned the actions of Operation Dudula, the activists who have been preventing suspected foreign nationals from entering hospitals and clinics and threatening to block the admission of children in the new academic year. Chairperson of the Health Committee, Bungseni Lomo, says while the concerns of limited resources cannot be ignored, the National Health Insurance guarantees free access to care. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
Parliament has condemned the actions of Operation Dudula activists, saying it won't tolerate lawlessness at health facilities and public schools. Health Chairperson Sibongiseni Dlomo says he's been discussing with the Health Minister laws related to citizens, refugees and immigration to determine how to address the concerns raised about foreign nationals accessing government services.
Some of these acts are very wide and encompassing what some of the people are, in their views, are saying. Maybe they should actually have a bit of limitation.
Chairperson of the Select Committee on Education, Maki Feni, says he doesn't agree with an approach to stop children believed to be those of foreign parents from attending school.
We're not going to allow anarchy to coexist with governance.
He's invited Operation Dudula activists to discuss their concerns with government rather than to threaten drastic action when it can't be proven at face value whether children have legal documents. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Some Soweto residents attending the G20 Summit Awareness Program earlier today accused government of only addressing long-standing issues for the upcoming summit and not for the benefit of South Africans. The Gauteng government has been holding an engagement session in Diepkloof, Soweto about the summit, which will host dignitaries from different countries. Officials say progress has been made to ensure that delegates find a pristine version of South Africa in November. Ndozo Kumalo reports.
Community members gathered at the Diepkloof Community Hall say they are ready to fully engage with government. Many have shared some of their frustrations over what they describe as a lack of essential services. Some have even accused the government of caring about fixing the province to present a false image of what Gauteng truly looks like. Regional chairperson of the South African Teachers Union, Thulani Ngobo.
How is it that we are always cleaning our house when we're getting visitors? And when no one is visiting us, the government doesn't care. It's business as usual. So you are actually wanting to paint a false picture to the world that you care about your citizens when you don't.
Community members have also called on government to include communities in the G20 summit to empower them economically. Ndogozo Khumalo, Eyewitness News, Soweto.
And a Ukrainian man has been arrested in Italy on suspicion of blowing up the Nord Stream gas pipeline under the Baltic Sea. The man, only identified as Seri K, was allegedly part of a group of people who planted devices on the pipelines near the Danish island of Bornholm in September of 2022. This was several months after the start of Russia's full-scale invasion of the Ukraine. The blast severed a key source of natural gas for Europe when leaders were facing an energy crisis. Seri K will be brought before a German judge before being transferred from Italy. It's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 27 and 28 degrees.
Well, if you're heading towards Boksburg, there's slow-moving traffic in the Germiston area on the N12 eastbound between the R24 split and Croft Road. Also in the Benoni area, bumper-to-bumper traffic on Atlas Road approaching the N12.
The top story in EWN. Parliament's chairpersons on health and education say they won't allow undocumented migrants to continue being blocked from entering healthcare facilities as well as schools.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
4 years almost to that fateful day when Babita Deokaran, a fearless whistleblower, was silenced. Rakesh, how are you as a family?
She lived for something that transpired now. Everything is coming now to the fore. And it's difficult for us. The name came up in 2021, so was the trail not followed?
Are you as a family being kept up to speed about what has happened since?
We have never.
Are we continuing to fail your sister?
Exactly.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
You should know that from the 29th to the 31st of August, you need to start revving your engines. If you love cars, this is your sort of stuff. You know, I've got number of friends who love vehicles. If this is your stuff, you need to go to the Festival of Motoring. It's powered by a Westbank. And hey, it's back at the legendary Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. And I told you that it's from the 29th to the 31st of August. So just make sure you'll have cash. Anyway, it's month end, right? And this is South Africa's biggest. I'm talking about the ultimate motoring celebration. You petrol heads, make sure that you're there. You'll feel the rush of these supercars that are making these noises that many of us don't understand, but you love them, right? And they've got this particular sound, super hot cars and drifting 4x4s adventures. You also have these track drives and jaw-dropping Formula One demos. So there's fun for every single person. Even if you don't like cars, you can be there and learn about vehicles. There's something to eat as well. The lovely, tasty bites there, some nice entertainment, music, this, that, and the other. And by the way, this is your front row look at the world's top car brands, because things keep changing every single time. So you need to get into action and grab yourself the tickets at howler.co.za. That's howler at howler.co.za now. And if you want to, use the promo code radio for a special discount. And that promo code, just add radio. The Festival of Motoring, where passion meets performance and the spirit of Ubuntu comes alive. This is all in partnership with 702.
Are you looking for the best savings on spectacles? At Specsavers, enjoy 1,500 Rand off when you get tested at South Africa's trusted and most established optical group. Get 1,500 Rand off all frames in store, or use your 1,500 Rand off on our leading lens enhancements, such as drive light lenses that reduce artificial glare whilst driving. Book online or call your nearest store today. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
Joburg gets ready to paint the town purple. The Hollywood Bets 10-kilometer race is back. Bigger, bolder, and bursting with energy. Whether you're running for fun or just love the vibe, this is your race. Join thousands as we take over the streets in true purple style. Tickets are available now on web tickets, so make sure you grab your spots at the starting line. And listen up, KZN is 100% sold out. out. Joburg, it's your turn to shine. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0170.
Naked people spend more time outdoors. They're always walking or running or cycling up something steep. And that's because naked people get car and home insurance online in seconds, which means less time wasted on insurance admin and more time training for that triathlon they keep casually bringing up in conversation. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and get naked, people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
They opened their doors before sunrise, stayed up late, showed up. Now they've made it to the finals of Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko because of you. But they're not done yet. Your vote that could make them Gauteng's greatest. Go to primemediaplus.com now to cast it. Because support isn't just spoken, it's action. And your vote is a standing ovation for the Corner Cafe with the big dreams, the local legend who never gave up, the startup that's changing the game. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko. Let Yoko Counter fuel your business to greatness. Go to yoko.com to explore the new point of sale solution, saving hundreds of businesses time and money.
EWN Sport.
With Tolagele Mganga, she'll give us the very latest in the world of sports. What's the latest, Tolagele? Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Tabo. Well, Adislamo Adu expects Relebogile Mofokeng to stay at Orlando Pirates amid rumors of a $2 million bid from MLS club Minnesota United. Mofokeng was in the Buccaneers starting lineup as they secured their first Betway Premiership win of the season last night, edging Stellenbosch 1-0.
Really, it's a profile of a player that we have to give him freedom. You know, it's a kind of player, very technically intelligent, clever, and you cannot just keep a player in one side to stick in one role. It's a kind of player you need to give him freedom, and I thought today he had a lot of freedom.
Bafana's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification hopes have hit a speed bump after Themba Zwane was ruled out for 2 months with an injury. Without him, Hugo Broos's side will take on Lesotho and Nigeria in back-to-back games at the Free State Stadium next month. The preliminary squad list is out and it features Mohaung Kotam, Duduzi Shabalala and Kulumani Ndamane. Over to cricket, where Sports Minister Gauteng McKenzie has announced the 2027 World Cup LOC, which will be chaired by former Finance Minister Trevor Manuel, and also includes, amongst others, former Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka. On the pitch, the Proteas will look to take an unassailable lead in their series with Australia. That's when they clash in the second ODI tomorrow. Matthew Bretzka believes that Keshav Maharaj holds the key to South Africa winning, having taken career best figures of 5 for 33 in the first game to move to the top of the ICC's ODI bowling rankings.
Well, I hope so. I think he was unreal the other night and won us the game. So if he can do that again tomorrow and help us win the series, that would be great. But the nice thing with this team is that hopefully every guy will stand up and maybe it will be someone else's chance tomorrow.
And Malaysia have ruled out Formula One returning to the country in the near future due to costs and an already packed racing calendar. The nation first hosted a race in 1999 at its Sepang International Circuit, and the last Grand Prix held there was back in 2017. The event would require a commitment of around $71 million annually for between 3 to 5 years, which is an amount that is more than double the government's development costs for 20 national sports programs. Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Karabo, the roads, how do they look, bro?
Well, at this stage in Gauteng, Tshwane, you can expect heavy delays on Solomon Mahlangu. This is between Gauteng Road and Atterbury due to an accident scene, as well as roadworks, as I see here on my radar. In Germiston, Ekurhuleni, accident scene as well on the N12 eastbound near Croft Road, causing heavy delays all the way from the R24 split. Benoni, slow-moving traffic on Atlas Road between Main Reef Road and the N12. Still in Edenville, expect some delays on the R24 westbound. This is from Edenville Road all the way to the Gilulis interchange. Bryanston, traffic sluggish on the N1 south. south from Rivonia Road to Winnie Mandela Drive, while in Alex, traffic pressure N3 south from the Bethlehem interchange all the way to the London Road off-ramp. In the south, Devland roadworks causing heavy delays on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue, and in Protea Glen, traffic remains heavily backed up on the N12 westbound between the R554 Abu Bakr Drive and the R558. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Explore the wonders of Mpumalanga. Discover the ultimate wildlife experience that brings you closer to nature. Get your adrenaline rush with endless adventure activities. Explore breathtaking 4x4 routes or hike the Blythe River Canyon, the third largest in the world. Unwind with spectacular landscapes and majestic waterfalls. Make Mpumalanga your destination of choice. Mpumalanga, embrace the unknown. Live the adventure. This message is brought to you by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Visit mpumalanga.com for more information.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Indeed, Thabo, in for John. It's now, 14 minutes to 5 o'clock. Tolagele, thanks for joining us one more time. Did you check yourself out in the mirror during the break?
No.
Okay, good. Good for you. Good for you. It was going to lie to you anyway. Nonetheless, Karabo, this needs you as a traffic person. You know, you'd be driving and the traffic light would be green. Yeah. And as you're driving, it turns amber.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of people would then press on the pedal, accelerate to just go over the crossing. And to get on the other line, right? To get on the other end of the road. My question is that, what are you supposed to do when the light turns amber? Because sometimes, I have to admit, I try to go over myself and I get ugly looks from those who are trying perhaps to turn, who've been waiting for me to drive over the traffic light and then turn. And I get nasty looks. People just drive a little bit closer. And in my mind, I'm thinking, it's not yet red. It's amber.
100%.
You need to be chilling on the other on the other end. Yep. Wait your turn. When it's red, then you have the right to give me the look. But safety on our roads would also demand that if it's amber, perhaps I need to stop because it will turn red whilst I'm in the middle of the road. So my question to you, Mr. Charlie, and you listening to us right now in the 702 land, and you, Tolagele Mganga, what does amber mean?
So, as a responsible trafficologist and traffic reporter, I'm going to be very responsible with my message here. As amber means be cautious. So it depends. You can use your discretion. It depends on the distance of how far you are from the traffic lights. Obviously, if you know that I'm 30 meters away and it's orange, slow down.
Yeah.
But if you're 5 meters and it's orange, which it takes about 10 seconds, then you can rightfully go past. And the person who wants to turn in has to wait because already they're in the middle of the road. If it's red for them, they're already in the middle of the road, then they can always turn when it's red. But if it's amber and you've got enough space to cross, then you do so.
What do you do?
I cross when I have space, but when I see the distance is too long, then you slow down. You be responsible because eventually,
it's gonna turn red anytime.
Yeah, you don't know when it's gonna turn red.
Okay, Tolagele, what do you do under such circumstances when your chauffeur is not around? Of course.
Oh my gosh, I wish. Honestly, a lot of the times it's always determined by what the guy behind me is doing. Because if I can tell that they're not going to slow down, it says to me, ma'am, either you're going to be bumper bashed or just take the risk and go. So I do it that way. ideally everybody slows down, but we all know that even though we like to blame the taxis, even us as the individuals, we also don't behave according to the rules of the road.
Yeah, do you not moonlight as an Uber driver sometimes?
Hell no,
Just
I
a
don't have the
question,
time.
side question. So you saying it depends on what's happening behind
Yes.
you because you need to be responsible.
Especially because I leave a lot later than the rest of the team. A lot
Yes.
of the times when I'm at the robots, when it's going amber, people will be flicking their lights, which is an indication that, hey, you have to go.
Yeah.
Whether or not you want to,
Yeah,
you're going
yeah,
to go because
yeah.
I'm not going to stop.
Yes.
So for me, that's always the guiding and deciding factor about what I do.
Hey, we've got responsible people in the studio. I like that. But I mean, I thought that amber light would mean that you need to be cautious.
Yes.
But also you would need to do a responsible thing because you've got a few seconds. Best thing to do is stop.
Best thing to do is slow down and then stop if it goes red.
Okay. But that depends on the momentum of the vehicle as well.
100%. Yeah.
Well, if you're listening to us in 702 Lane, please clear that up. What do you do when it turns amber? And perhaps if you work for the traffic department, what are you supposed to do? And Tolagel is bringing a very interesting dynamic. She's saying, late at night, what's a responsible thing to do? You could be blocking someone and then it turns red and they have to be stuck there for quite some time. What do you do when the light turns amber? Please let us know. 072 702 1702. 10 minutes to 5.
702 Podcast
on primemediaplus.com.
Thanks very much for sticking around with us here on 702. I mean, at times you walk into someone's home and you see damp walls. They've got spots of black and gray here and there. And you're assuming that it's water, and it could be water. But what do you do? How do you make sure that you detect that a little bit earlier than you ought to? Your house, your home is our feature that we have every single Thursday here on the show around about this time. Tian Tutoy is property inspector, and Tian joins us on the line right now to assist us on this. Tian, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Hello, Tobo. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Very difficult to detect, especially if you are useless like myself on home issues, the DIY. How do you go about detecting that I might have a problem with damp walls or just generally dampness around the house?
That's such a good question, Tobo. So I think damp is probably one of the most critical issues we have in South Africa. Primarily what one can see is on the lower parts of the wall. Now I'm talking about rising damp. There's various types of damp, but let's just focus on rising damp.
Yeah.
So you will usually see that the paint starts to bubble on the interior side of your property, or if the walls are plastered on the outside, you will see that the paint has started to bubble. And that is due to a construction error.
Oh. So something happened when the house was being built, or a structure was being built, yeah.
That's exactly it. So usually, look, when I do my inspections, I'm a property inspector, I have a damp meter, so I test the walls to see if there's damp inside. But what usually happens is that when the builders build these properties, they don't install a DPC, which is short for damp-proof course. It actually prevents the damp from the bottom, from the ground, wicking upwards and causing this. So I think if our listeners can take one thing home is, if you see damp, it's not acceptable. You shouldn't comply with it, and you should raise your voice, especially if you're wanting to buy a property.
And then when you see it, I assume it's a bit too late. What do you do then? Must you start the process from scratch? Given that money is too tight to mention, what's the best thing to do?
That's 100% it. So luckily, it is repairable. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who patch it, and they give you a 5-year warranty, but within the next year, you will have the same issue. So in short, what needs to happen is you need to remove the plaster around about 1 meter high from the wall, if it's a plastered wall, and you need to reinstall the DPC. So you're not going to reinstall the black plastic, which is the DPC, but you'll need to insert some type of chemical DPC to actually prevent it. And then the next step, which is probably the most vital one, is you need to do the joint correctly, meaning if you walk around the property, this is a practical tip. If the wall's plastered, have a look on the lower meter of the wall. If the plaster is in one piece, you will have damp issues. The plaster needs to be discontinuous and the plastic needs to protrude. Otherwise, you're going to have damp issues.
I would have thought, and I'm completely wrong, I'm not an expert in this whatsoever, Tian, feel free to just correct me. I would have thought that one of the reasons would be if perhaps you have water that is stuck in some way in the system. It could be the roof that's not moving water and one of those. To what extent do rains and water that is not moving contribute to the dampness of the walls?
That's such a great question. So today I did an inspection where they converted the garage into a flatlet for a granny flat, right? But the roof on top is flat, first of all.
Yeah.
And then the flashing between the roof and the wall, it was missing. So, of course, there will be water ingress from there. So you're 100% correct. That is also another source or form of moisture ingress that can cause damp. And then especially mold, which is severe to your health, especially in a confined area of a flat roof.
Does it ever get to a point where it can be fixed anymore, the dampness that is of the walls and the structure, where truly you need to reconstruct completely?
Yes, unfortunately it does. I did an inspection in Pretoria East where the foundation has started to actually erode, or the water has eroded the bricks as well as on top of the roof itself. That doesn't happen overnight, I should say. So that you need several years for that to happen.
Yeah.
But it's always better to actually maintain than to get into that position.
Yeah, and once you've fixed it, what's a good way to maintain? Painting, what do you need to do to make sure that you don't experience that again?
That's it. So perfect. If we keep on the roof subject, so if you have a look on your roof, if you have parapet walls, which is the vertical walls, make sure it's waterproofed on top, right? So regardless of the type of waterproofing you use, make sure it's waterproof, service it at least once a year. And then between the roof and the walls, make sure the flashing is sealed as well. There are various types of products on the market that you can use, but climb onto the roof, or if you have somebody that assists you around the home, let them climb up and have a look. What is the state of the waterproofing thereof?
Tian, I don't want to take bread from people's mouths, but you walk around, you drive around, you see various boards that are saying leaking roofs, contact us at 072, whatever. How do you know that that individual is truly knowledgeable about what they do? Because you also don't want to bring chances into your home.
No, that's so true. So it's always best to see waterproofing companies should be registered with the BOSA, so DWASA. So that's always good. They should give you at least a 5-year workmanship certificate or guarantee. Otherwise, I would just walk away from that company and request another company to actually inspect, or they can contact me. So I am in the industry. There's a lot of people that one knows that actually does quality work. That's always an option as well.
How do we contact you?
So you can contact me at 08265999530, or you can go to my website. It's Property Perusal. I'm a building inspector, and I assist clients, especially with this, before they buy a property, to identify all of these issues.
Tian, you've been extremely helpful. Really appreciate it. All the best. I hope that we can chat again in the near future. Tian Tutoy, property inspector, and we were talking about understanding or identifying dampness in your home. And he's saying, of course, we need to look out for those flat roofs every now and then, and call in someone before it gets out of hand, because it does get to a point where you will need to restart from scratch. 2 minutes to 5 o'clock.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9. 4 years almost to that fateful day when Babita Deokaran, a fearless whistleblower, was silenced. Rakesh, how are you as a family?
She lived for something that transpired now. Everything is coming now to the fore. And it's difficult for us. The name came up in 2021, so was the trail not followed?
Are you as a family being kept up to speed about what has happened since?
We have never.
Are we continuing to fail your sister?
Exactly.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
Celebrate the arrival of spring with jazz from all corners at the Nyrox Sculpture Park in the Cradle of Humankind on 7 September, featuring Kujenga. Tandi Ntuli, Linda Skakani, and Sia Makuzeni. Nyrox invites you to indulge in nature and art, exploring exhibitions on the rolling lawns and meandering waterways. A perfect occasion for family and friends with curated culinary pleasures and refined bar offerings. Limited tickets are available from nyroxarts.com. Nyrox is a private, not-for-profit foundation to benefit the arts. All income is used to maintain the grounds, the artist residency program, and artist support.
Tip your way to glory in the Hollywood Bets Punters Challenge, the free-to-play horse racing game with daily cash giveaways and massive jackpot prizes. Pick all the winners on the race card and you could win 100,000 Rand. Bet 50 Rand or more on your selections using the Bet Slip feature and you could walk away with 1 million Rand. Visit punterschallenge.hollywoodbets.net today and tip your way to the top. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Every day I'm hustling. It's our reality as business owners. And it's good to know that there's someone out there who takes care of business that makes the business. Gotta love My Way Business Insurance. Saving big on premiums with 24/7 emergency services, plus My Business Assist with marketing, legal, and labor advice services.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
This is EWN.
Customers urged to return some popular Benny stock cubes, and Masemola has not been approached to testify before the police inquiry yet. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Giant food manufacturer Tiger Brands is urging consumers to return their Benny beef and chicken flavoured stock cubes to their nearest retailers to receive their refunds. This comes after the company recalled the products this afternoon, citing inaccurate labelling on packages. The decision to recall the products comes after the company consulted the National Consumer Commission about the cubes that have been on the shelves since 2023. They include the 12, 24 and 48 cube packs with a best before date of the 31st of July 2027 or any date prior to that. The latest product issue comes as Tiger Brands is already locked in a legal battle over the 2017 listeriosis outbreak that claimed at least 200 lives. Tandoluhle Ngcobo has more.
Tiger Brands says it's working with retail and wholesale customers to remove all incorrectly labelled Benny flavoured stock cubes products from store shelves. However, the company has assured that this recall does not include any other products marketed and sold under the Benny brand. The company remains under public and legal scrutiny nearly 7 years after the deadly listeriosis outbreak. The Benny flavoured stock cubes were recently introduced to the Tiger Brands product line. The food manufacturer says it will make the stock cubes available again once the labelling information has been rectified. Tandoluhle Ngcobo, Eyewitness News.
National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says he has not yet been approached to testify before the judicial inquiry into alleged corruption within the criminal justice system. Masemola, who is locked in a court battle with his deputy Shadrack Sibiya over his decision to place him on special leave, is expected to be called before that commission. The inquiry was established by the President after KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi accused Sibiya of diverting political killings dockets to Gauteng, where they were allegedly neutralized. Mongezi Koko has more.
A defiant Masemola has dismissed suggestions that he acted improperly in directing Sibiya to step aside, repeating his position in court papers. Speaking on the sidelines of a 420 million rand drug destruction operation in Gauteng, he confirmed he has not been contacted to testify when the commission begins on the 1st of September.
We'll wait the call, probably we'll call and we will go. We won't be hesitant to go, so that's basically where we are.
Asked about his relationship with Mkhwanazi, Masemola said they have spoken and he is ready to give evidence if required. Mungi Zikoko, Eyewitness News.
The Gauteng government has promised to address issues raised by some Soweto residents who attended the G20 Summit Awareness Program today. The residents who gathered at the Diepkloof Community Hall criticized government, saying they have been excluded from the G20 preparations. They also reiterated that their long-standing service delivery complaints have been sidelined and are only being addressed now for G20 leaders who are coming to the country. Provincial Health MEC Nomantung Komora Lehoko, who is standing in for Premier Bangazile Sufi, welcomed the honest feedback.
Bring those issues that you feel that must be addressed by the Premier and by the departments. Going to channel them to the Premier, to the department, but I will be leading myself. If you want me to come to Soweto Parliament to deal with those things right there with my colleagues or staff members that needs that, will do that.
To this now, Build One South Africa says it is in talks with several like-minded political parties about a possible merger ahead of next year's local government elections. The discussions are believed to involve Action SA, Rise Mzansi and the Good Party. The move is aimed at reducing vote fragmentation and preventing municipal councils from being dominated by numerous small political parties with limited influence. At a media briefing today, BOSA leader Musi Maimane said a decision will soon be taken on how the party will approach next year's elections.
We have to do everything in our power to make sure that we achieve change in 2026. BOSA has always committed itself to working and speaking to a number of organizations to say, how do we put forward a compelling vision for metros and governments? How do we ensure that more people can come together to work together so that whatever happens in the elections, you don't feel the fragmentation, but rather you have a block of parties who are willing to work together to deliver the change that we need.
And Nigeria has deported 102 foreign nationals convicted of cyber terrorism and internet fraud. The deportees are amongst more than 700 suspected cyber criminals arrested in a single operation in Lagos. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says more deportations are scheduled for the next coming days. The agency says foreign gangs recruited Nigerian accomplices to find victims online through phishing scams in which attackers typically deceive victims to transfer money to them or reveal sensitive information such as their passwords. Gold is trading at $3,340.41 an ounce. The rand is at 17.68 to the dollar, 23.80 to the pound, 20.59 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $66.84 a barrel.
Garsfontein, Pretoria, you can still expect heavy delays. This is on Solomon Mahlangu between Garsfontein Road and Atterbury due to ongoing roadworks. Benoni, there's about a 20-minute delay on Atlas Road between Main Reef Road and the N12. And in Brakpan heading towards Boksburg, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic. N17 eastbound, this is between Heidelberg Road and Rondebold.
In your sport, Orlando Pirates finally off the mark in the Betway Premiership. Lucas Ribeiro Costa turns to FIFA in his quest to get his Mamelodi Sundowns contract terminated, and Fraser McWright to captain Australia in their second Rugby Championship test against South Africa.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Joburg dropping to overnight lows of 11 degrees, peaking at 28. Pretoria 11 and 29, and Vereniging 6 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Giant food manufacturer Tiger Brands is urging customers to return their Benny beef and chicken flavoured stock cubes to their nearest retailers to receive a refund.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7.
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
18 minutes after 5 o'clock. Thanks very much for joining us. You are on 702 Thabo in for John. We're together till 6. If you've just joined us, where have you been? You've missed out on so much. but in time for the rest, and the rest looks very good. We'll be speaking to Minister Thembi Simelane in a short while about the National Urban Forum gathering that is put together by Salga. How do we urbanize our spaces, but more importantly, informal settlements? What do we do with informal settlements? Because it appears that they sprout everywhere, and the need for housing, the need for settlements is very, very dire in our country. But at times, people settle in dangerous areas. What can the government do if that happens? But those that have been there for quite some time, how do you go in, intervene with sizable measures to make sure that the lives are much better? But also the question, sensitive question, and I know you'll throw stones at me for saying this, is that how do we stop informal settlements from sprouting in order to give people appropriate land for housing and settlement? And I really mean it from a good place, because we do need to make sure that people are settled appropriately. That will come on the show in a little while. But for now, 011-883-0702. That is the number to dial if you'd like to get in touch with us. Alternatively, send us a voice note on 072-702-1702. Speaking of which, we did ask a question a little bit earlier on. We said, when the light turns amber, you're driving or you're walking, what do you do? What is the right thing to do? Do you stop, or do you cross over quickly because it hasn't turned red? Let us know. 011-883-0702.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
If you're on top of it and it turns amber, then obviously you go through. If you're approaching it and you see it go amber, you do not accelerate, you stop. If there's not enough time to stop safely, obviously you carry on. But amber, the definition of amber is not take caution. Check out your K53, Mike from Bronkhorstspruit. Have a nice day.
Hi, Tabo. I once heard that in South Africa, green means go, amber means go, go, and red means go, go, go. So I hope that answers your question.
Aye, guys, no ways. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Amber, simple, slow down. We don't stop because it's red. We don't slow down to stop because it's red. We slow down to stop when the robot changes from green. It's giving you time to transition from motion to stopping. We don't apply brakes because it's red. We apply brakes because it's amber. So all these interpretations I'm hearing, you guys are part of the problem. Amber is slow down. Thank you. Dumisho from Glen Vista.
Dumisho, why the shots? We are asking a question. I get we need clarity. Why fight with us? This is where we need to ventilate those things, because you know for sure, Dumisho, you've seen how people act on the roads. We are putting it on a public platform so that we can get some clarity from smart people like yourselves. You see, and Mike said something like, Karabo, it doesn't mean caution, ne?
Yeah, is it the one who says orange is fast?
No. Before that.
Oh, yes, that's the confusing one. I thought it's caution. Obviously, being cautious, you slow down.
You slow down, yeah.
Observe your surroundings and see if I can go past or not.
Yeah. And Masilo was the second one where he said that it means go.
And
go. No, it doesn't mean that.
Totally incorrect.
It doesn't mean that. We must review his driver's license 12 minutes after 5 o'clock.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Karabo Charlie, what's the latest on our roads?
Well, at this stage in the city of Tshwane, expect delays in the Gauteng area. This is on Solomon Mahlangu between Gauteng Road and Atterbury due to roadworks. In Brakpan, unusual delays. This is heading towards Boksburg. Expect about a 20-minute delay. On the N17 westbound between Heidelberg Road and Rondebold. Not yet clear what's causing this delays. If you're on that route, please let us know. WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702. Still in Ekurhuleni. Expect about a 20-minute delay as well on Atlas Road. That's in Benoni between Main Reef Road and the N12. Edenville heading towards towards Bedford View. Bumper-to-bumper traffic, R24 westbound. This is between Edenvale Road and the Gilulis interchange. Bryanston traffic remains sluggish. N1 south from Rivonia Road all the way to Winnie Mandela Drive. And in Devland, we have those roadworks causing heavy delays on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. I'll have your next Eyewitness News. Traffic update just after 5:30.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clever late excuse number 79. You had to stop and help a turtle cross the road. Fortunately, with the outsurance pointsmen on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The outsurance pointsmen easing traffic congestion and getting you there quickly and safely since 2005. Outsurance really means it when they say you always get something out, in proud partnership with 702. Show them some love online using hashtag pointsmenlove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer in FSP.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Often now we see leaders of the ANC exploring what other options would have looked like. Do you think this is better than what we could have seen maybe with partnering with the EFF or partnering with the MK party?
Infinitely. I think the MK party is just an offshoot of the ANC, and it's a party of thugs, to put it bluntly. If there is a government of national unity, it can't be uniting with people who are openly supportive of corruption or openly defiant of our constitution. There has to be some kind of bottom line principles.
What about the EFF?
I think some of their behavior in Parliament was actually quite despicable, quite immature, childish, juvenile. I think there has to be a seriousness amongst the partners in a government of national unity.
Derek Hanekom, thank you so much.
Clement Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Hi everyone, I'm Dean McPherson, the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. Since I was appointed just over a year ago, we've laid a firm foundation in the department, and after tabling our 7.6 billion rand budget for growth, we're now turning plans into action. That means that we're moving government departments into our own state-owned buildings to save you billions of rands in rent. We're unlocking public land to build affordable housing, create shelters for victims of gender-based violence, and to boost food production. We're also tackling corruption head-on without fear or favor. And we're giving young South Africans real opportunities through a reformed EPWP program that focuses on skills and long-term jobs. And this is only the beginning. With your support, we're building a capable and professional department that delivers infrastructure, creates jobs, and puts public assets to work for the public good. The best is yet to come because we're building a better country for you, brick by brick.
If you want to know about the heart and art of jazz, look no further than the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival, a grand ensemble of over 50 world-class acts across 4 stages for 3 whole days. That's right, from the 26th, 27th and 28th of September. The Sandton Convention Center will be demure and sophisticated as the fine Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2025 takes you deep into the heart, the art and splendor of jazz. Take me there. Book your seat via Ticketmaster now.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
I'm joined on the line by Minister Thembi Simelane, Minister of Human Settlements. This is on the backdrop of National Urban Forum gathering that is taking place in KZN. Amongst others, they are talking about urbanization, but also the informal settlements. You'd know that many of us driving home, going home, we do go past informal settlements, and we cannot ignore them. This is a very interesting but serious challenge in South Africa because we want everyone else to live as comfortably as possible. Minister, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the listeners.
Share a little bit before I jump in, Minister, about the National Urban Forum and the gathering that you are attending. Why is it so important?
Well, this is the second South Africa is participating in the National Urban Forum. The first one was attended by Minister Kubai in Ethiopia. We are trying to tackle issues of rapid urbanization, which internationally indicates that 68% worldwide by 2050 will all be living in urban areas. The lessons that we have learned in the South African context is that we are carried through by 3 metros in the main, which are facing acceleration in terms of rapid urbanization between 50 to 20% per annum. That is the city of Johannesburg, eThekwini, and Cape Town. And if you look into the demographics of informal settlements or squatter camps as we know them, they are also 4,075 countrywide, but over 50% are in these three mega metros in South Africa. So in eThekwini, for example, you've got around 600 informal settlements and surrounding. Johannesburg are hovering the same, and the difficulty here is that as me and you are talking now, there's somebody who's putting up a shack everywhere else. So we task our Housing Development Agency, HDA in short, to keep on mind mapping around the areas, assisting municipalities to map their spaces, but also to keep track on areas from a geo mapping point of view where are new informal settlements, so that we utilize our ISOP grant, which is meant for informal settlements and emergency upgrading of areas and towns, to make sure that we provide adequate social housing.
Okay, so the ISOP grant sustains, or it's injected into assisting informal settlements and in upgrading them. And does this take into consideration as to how people settle there in the first place, or what is the criteria for the grant to be used?
Well, it does. Remember, human settlement were a concurrent function, meaning that national doesn't build, but the province jointly with the local municipalities and metros, they get the allocation and then be able to build properly. We try by all means 8 years to date. We don't follow by rebuilding in an informal settlement because people have stayed there. Even if it means we need to relocate them to proper land, because after the promulgation of SPLUMA, which talks to spatial planning and proper land use management, in the country there's quite a number of imperatives that you've got to take into consideration before building a settlement. One of them is environmental factors, as per our National Environmental Management Act. Are you not in a riverbank, etc.? Of course, our people do build illegally in most instances, won't. But you relocate those people, you control them. But there is an element of climate change, where initially a location or a township establishment was formalized. Let's take Umlazi, where a Section B River, the Lamontville area, wiped people off. It is because of the growth patterns and the developmental rain patterns in KwaZulu-Natal that has brought in some of the rivers and large dams, such that what usually used to be a formal and appropriate formal settlement, it gets to be eroded over time. It's part of our early warning systems that South African Weather Services assist us. You then are supposed to also provide assistance in relation to our disaster fund.
And I could almost hear some of our listeners concerned that it is obviously from government side the issues of resources on one hand, but the law on the other, and without necessarily overlooking the aspect of humanitarianism that should be taken into consideration. And if an informal settlement just sprouts out, there are laws to be followed, and some property owners would be concerned about the value of their properties. And on one end, the law can come in a little bit later. For instance, yesterday you visited Ward 64, I'm told, in eThekwini, and you found that in the middle of a cemetery, there was an informal settlement. Clearly, the government doesn't have a hold or control over the sprouting of these informal settlements, Minister.
Yes, particularly. I mean, when you try, some of the areas are private land. In this one, we could say it's a bit of a limitation in the municipality because there's got to be, particularly at the cemetery, the act that regulates control, management, and security of graveyards into the custodian of a municipality. But as we indicate, eThekwini in this instance in Ward 64, they may not be able to guard each and every space. The same as you drive around in the city of Johannesburg, Even on the freeway, in the small space, you get to be amazed that you find a settlement of 10 to 20 people, which starts to be mushrooming in open land parcels as well, some owned by government, some privately owned. We need a legal response there.
Yeah.
Hence, you will see evictions that are taking place in old government buildings, in government land, which we then utilize either for housing or for whatever they were.
Allow me to squeeze in just one question, Minister. I don't mean to interrupt you. We are flat out of time, but very quickly, who's responsible for relocating informal settlements?
It's jointly. It's ourselves, human settlement, and the municipality. Overall, it's the municipality and the land involved, but to a certain extent, there's also public works. That is, if it's government land, who are the custodians is the Department of Public Works. So it depends on whose parcel is it. And of course, the private owner may also be responsible for evicting people who are in his privately owned land. But ordinarily in government, it's a municipality and a Department of Public Works in the main.
We'll have to give this issue more time, Minister. Really appreciate your time. And Minister Thembi Simelane, Minister of Human Settlements, we're talking about the mainly National Urban Forum, especially on the backdrop of sprouting informal settlements. 24 minutes after 5.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Mathane Swart joins us right now. Mathane is Secretariat of the South African Rooibos Council, and obviously this is about the US tariffs that will affect this industry, but it appears as though there is a silver lining under this very dark cloud. Mathane, thanks so much for your time. Welcome to 702.
Thanks, Tava. Good to be with you.
Tariffs obviously affecting you, and the President Donald Trump is not making it easy for South Africa to trade comfortably or conveniently with the US. How have you been affected? But mostly, what are you doing about it?
Right, so I think this affects all industry in South Africa because it is applicable to all products that we export to the US. And for Rooibos, the argument is so clear because it is only cultivated and it only occurs in the Western Cape, in that very specific area, Cederberg area in South Africa. So for us, the argument was very clear. It can't be grown in the US. We mostly exported it in bulk, also giving opportunity for US packers to blend and pack and put the product to market. So we really see no threat to the US economy. And therefore, we decided to engage through letters the DTIC and the American Embassy.
But now you've turned your eyes from the west to the east. It appears as if there would be something from the land of the rising sun.
Yes. So Japan has been the biggest market. So Rooibos, maybe, Tom, just to quickly mention, for a long period of time, the Rooibos industry has really been investing in the diversification of markets. And and there's a nice spread, and Japan came out tops, and it is for the past few years our top market. About 26% of our Rooibos, 26% of our exports for the past 10 years went to Japan.
Really?
So yes, we certainly. Yes.
I would have thought green tea would be big that side, not Rooibos, but clearly there's something in our tea.
Well, they really enjoy, the Japanese specifically appreciate the fact that Rooibos doesn't have caffeine because they're a tea drinking nation. They like to drink it at night and they also want to sleep. And the other thing they really value Rooibos for is its gut, it's positive for gut health.
Yes.
So that's another thing they really value. Yes.
Before I say goodbye, just very quickly, does this then mitigate the offsets that you would have suffered in the US?
I think the US is such an important market that we still want to engage it, but I think also the Rooibos industry, exactly like the Rooibos plant, is resilient, and we're going to make a plan if the US market is going to be a little bit more restrictive to the industry.
Sadly, we have to leave it at that, Mathane. Really appreciate your time. Mathane Swart, Secretariat of the South African Rooibos Council, 27 after 5.
EWN Business.
With the SG of broadcasting, finance, markets, the economy.
But no tea. I mean, I'm all for I'm happy to help them as much. I'll go and pick the stuff if it helps. But I mean, the coffee machine has to be broken.
But
before
Steve,
I'll drink
I mean,
it.
are you not surprised at that? I mean, perhaps you knew it. 26%.
No, that I didn't know.
That's huge.
Astonishing. And it also just tells you sometimes you got to go knock on doors.
Yes,
you got to just keep going and knocking. You know,
we have customers everywhere. We must just entice them to come through. What's the latest, bro?
The JSE All Share up 0.69%. Thanks, resources. It's at 101,750 points. Financials are flat. Industrials are down 0.37, and then resources are up 3.3. Gold shares in particular are up very strongly. So DLD Gold, they're up 13.5. You'll remember, Thabo, their results out yesterday, and they extract gold from mine dumps, from tailings dams, and things like that. Their revenue was up very strongly. So gold prices are up today. That plus their results yesterday, that's pushing them up quite nicely. Harmony's up 4.7. Anglo Gold up 4%, and Gold Fields up 3.71. The other big resource share that's up strongly is Exxaro, the coal producer. Now, thermal coal prices were slightly lower in the period, softer to use the jargon, but they're still up 7.87% after saying that their attributable profit was up by 11%. So they cut costs. They found cheaper ways to transport their coal through Mozambique, not to Richards Bay. We'll ask them about that on the Money Show this evening. Transnet, Michelle Phillips.
I think I may know why. I mean, the logistical problems that we've been experiencing in the country, in our ports, and people prefer to use other ports because it's easier, convenient, and cheaper.
Cheaper. So that's the big issue, and we'll speak to Ben Magara, the CEO of Exxaro, and just ask him a little bit more about that. I found that very, very interesting. The Spur Group saying that basically they still have been able to increase profits by 17% despite quite tough trading conditions. They also say that supermarkets are coming into the sort of Spur market, the Spur chains. So that's very interesting. We'll sort of ask a bit more about that on the Money Show. And then the private schools business Curo, they're reporting a 10% increase in net cash generated from operating activities for the 6 months to the end of June. So despite all of the toughness out there, and we spoke about the middle class on the Money Show, what's left of it, we are seeing that there is money around to keep kids in school. Naspers shares down 1%. Sun International down 1% too, and AVI down 0.89% at the moment. In the US, a little bit of a retreat from tech shares, but also people just waiting to see what's going to happen at Jackson Hole tomorrow. That central bank governor sort of retreat. So Dow Jones is down 0.27, the Nasdaq is down 0.14, the S&P 500 is down 0.21 at the moment. The gold price tonight is slightly higher today. It's $3,341.04 an ounce. Platinum $1,336.20. Brent crude $66.13. And the rand to the dollar 17.73, to the euro 20.56, to the British pound 23.79. So on the Money Show tonight, the CEO of Exxaro, the CEO of the Spur Corporation. We'll talk also about, does changing a name matter? I mean, the first big corporation that I remember that changed its name in my lifetime was Datsun when it became Nissan. And it took me forever to understand why they done that. I don't get it. My brother's name is still he hasn't changed his name. Come here for a clap. Maybe you should. I mean, that was how I was then.
And your brother is a brand.
Well, both of them, yes, unfortunately. And then also an investment school. Should you keep your money nice and safe here where you know the system? Or should you send it overseas?
We'll have to be tuned in for that one.
Indeed. Switzerland, very boring. That's all I'm going to say. Stephen Curtis, EWN Business.
And that's why he's the SG of Broadcasting. Mbali Dlamini will tell us what's the latest on Eyewitness News headlines. Mbali, good afternoon.
Thanks, Thabo. Good afternoon. The city of Tshwane says it expects to have a master plan in place by December in what it hopes will be a blueprint to revive the loss-making Wonderboom Airport. The airport, which is owned by the Tshwane municipality, has been running at a huge loss for a number of years, leading to suggestions it should be pawned off to the private sector. But the city says it will not put its assets up for sale, opting instead to pull in investors to help with recovery efforts. Tshwane's MMC for Roads and Transport, Tlangi Mohale, says the city has approved a 4-tier plan to stabilize airport operations and governance. Mogale joined Tshwane Mayor Nasipi Moya today at a media briefing ahead of the city's inaugural investment summit set for next month.
Most importantly, we've got a projected 7.2 billion rands that is required to turn around and grow the airport. So in order for us to do that, we've realized that we cannot keep it within us, but we need to allow it to run independently with a proper board and a senior management so that they're able to account properly, but also we're able to take it to the market.
Mogale says an overhaul will take some time.
So by December we'll be done with the master plan, but obviously it means that's where the actual work starts. It doesn't mean everything will be done by December, but it basically says we'll have a proper guiding document to say how do we go about on issues of getting a transaction advisor.
To this now, police have arrested 5 learners and a parent who have been disrupting learning at the Tsakani Secondary School in Ekurhuleni. The arrests come after a series of reported incidents about the group, including bullying and intimidation. It's alleged they recently attacked a grade 12 camp by pelting stones and damaging newly replaced school doors while also setting fire to the toilets. The Provincial Education Department says just yesterday the group threatened teachers and pupils with knives, robbing them of their phones and money during school hours. Thando Luhlengcobo has more.
The department says one of the arrested learners had recently been suspended for assaulting another learner with a chair, but he continued to forcefully return to the school despite the suspension. The teachers at the school have since expressed the fear of their safety, with some unable to return to class due to intimidation. Spokesperson Steve Mabona.
Today, the perpetrators allegedly disrupted schooling and also the grade 12 preliminary examination.
He says the parents of one of the learners who was also arrested had allegedly been fueling the disruptions and was also part of some of the attacks. The department has condemned the incidents, citing that it will provide psychosocial support to the school. Thando Luhlengcobo, Eyewitness News.
And further afield, a teenager has been sentenced to 10 years for a foiled plan to attack a Scottish mosque. The teen, who cannot be named due to his age, had planned to set fire to the building and kill any worshippers inside. The 17-year-old was arrested in January this year while carrying a military-style rucksack as he tried to gain entry to the building. Investigators also found a list of individuals who had inspired his political beliefs, including Adolf Hitler and a Norwegian mass murderer. The teenager will be supervised for 8 years after his release from jail. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng tomorrow, lows of between 6 and 11 degrees and highs of between 27 and 29.
Heavy delays in Garsfontein, Pretoria on Solomon Mahlangu between Garsfontein Road and Atterbury due to roadworks. Also bumper-to-bumper traffic in the Brakpan area on the N17 westbound between Heidelberg Road and Rondebolt and in Benoni. You can also expect about a 20-minute delay on Atlas Road between Main Reef Road and the N12.
The top story in EWN, the city of Tshwane says it expects to have a master plan in place by December in what it hopes will be a blueprint to revive the loss-making Wonderboom airport.
Take a ride back to the greatest decades in music.
Because Saturdays on 702 are all about timeless tunes.
At 10 a.m.
Kenny Maestri sets the stage with the greatest hits of the 80s and 90s.
At 2 p.m.
Pushaza Sibia keeps the nostalgia flowing
with more classics you can't help but sing along to.
Then at 6 p.m., Richard Mwamba celebrates the sounds of the continent.
With This Is Africa.
It's more than just music.
It's your Saturday, wrapped up in the sounds you love.
Only on 702. Let's walk the talk.
Smart Steve from Momentum. Hello.
Stevie, my bro. It's me, Clinton Myers, the Minister of National Treasures.
Good afternoon, Mr. Minister. How can Momentum Insure help you?
You know, most Momentum car insurance protects the people better than a windbreaker in Cape Town.
That's true, Mr. Minister.
Listen, this no VAT economy is not helping with the cost of maintaining my Gusheshe, my tires, man.
So why don't you drive lacquer and earn lacquer with Momentum Insure's safety return?
Smart Steve! Now you are a national treasure.
Also, Momentum Insure rewards you with up to 30% cash back on your paid premiums, even if you claim.
Nee, my lighty. Is it true?
Stru's Bob, Mr. Clint Mayers. In this economy, this cashback will go a long way.
Lekker man, Stivovo.
Visit momentum.co.za to get a quote. Momentum Insure, keeping you safe on your journey to success. Momentum Insure is an authorized non-life insurer and FSP. Standard SMS rates and T's and C's apply. FSP 22789.
Choose the best. The new Huawei Pura 80 series. The master of photography. A super sensor with precision zoom. Stay sharp from dawn to dusk with a superior 1-inch ultralighting camera and ultralighting macro telephoto lens. The master of color, enhancing every frame with vibrant color and incredible clarity. Tricky lighting? No problem. Take portraits against the light with every face perfectly illuminated. It's more than a phone. It's a professional studio in your pocket. Go beyond with Huawei Pura 80 series.
EWN Sport.
With Tholakele Mganga. What's the latest? Good afternoon, Tholakele.
Afternoon, Thabo. While the Springboks return to action on Saturday, they take on Australia in their second Rugby Championship test in Cape Town. Jean-Luc Deprez is one of 10 new names in the starting 15, and he's looking forward to his first box start in 7 years.
Your mind is a powerful thing. There were times that I was thinking like, should I just give up on the Springboks? But I would never be able to do that. So it's taken quite a while for me to start again. It's taken 7 years. But then again, you can never take this for granted, because when you get your shot, you need to make it count.
For Ruan Nokia, he'll get an opportunity to start alongside Achia Snyman for the first time in his career. They've been back to start ahead of the experienced Eben Etzebeth and Lua Diaga.
It's my first time starting with RG. Really excited about the opportunity to play alongside him. He's also been at the Bulls a few years ago, and I always wished to play with him. We can feed off each other a lot. Personally, very excited for that. When you put on that jersey, for me personally, it's just whether I play 10, 20 or 80 minutes. Doing what makes my game good is my work rate. I just want to go out and empty my tank every time I can.
Jerome Boateng has had his contract with Austrian club Las Link terminated just 3 matches into the new season. The World Cup winner signed a 2-year deal last year after becoming a free agent, but his deal has now been terminated a year early after clashes with fans who called him a wife-beater. Over to cricket, where the Proteas will be targeting ODI series success when they take on Australia in the second game tomorrow. South Africa won the first clash by 98 runs, and Matthew Bretzker is expecting backlash from the Baggy Greens, who suffered their heaviest runs loss since 1991.
Yeah, look, I've been watching them over the last 10 years on TV, so to play them I sort of know what they're kind of going to do. So yeah, just we've got a couple of sidearm guys that get a little bit more bounce to prepare for a guy like Hazelwood, and obviously Zampa's a world-class bowler, and yeah, it was just watching the ball and getting through.
An Algerian Olympic boxing champion, Iman Khalif, has dismissed claims from her former manager suggesting that she's stepping away from the sport. She accused her manager of betraying her trust and her country with the false and malicious statements. Khalif won gold in the women's 66 kg category at the Paris Olympics and was recently at the center of a gender controversy. Tholakele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Mr. Charlie, the roads, how do they look now?
Gee, it's pretty busy. Hey, Thabo. Let me start in the city of Tshwane, where you can expect about a 30-minute delay. This is in the Gauteng Road, in the Gauteng area on Solomon Mahlangu between Gauteng Road and Atterbury due to roadworks. Also leaving the Pretoria CBD, there's slow-moving traffic. This is in the Hermanstad area on Eskiam Pahlele between Vomhagen and the R18. In Ekurhuleni, also pretty busy there. Brakpan, there's more than a 20-minute delay. N17 westbound between Heidelberg Road and Rondebolt. Still not clear what's causing that delay. You can always let us know on WhatsApp on 072-702-1702 if you're on that route. Still in Ekurhuleni Benoni, also about a 30-minute delay on Atlas Road. This is this is on Main Reef Road, rather. There's delays, about a 30-minute delay in the Benoni area on Atlas Road between Main Reef Road and the N12 due to an earlier accident. Edenvale, also huge delays on the R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Gilulis interchange, while in Bryanston, heading towards Fourways, traffic remains sluggish. N1 South between Rivonia Road and Winnie Mandela Drive. Alex traveling towards Germiston, traffic pressure. N3 South from the Butlu interchange all the way to London Road, and in Devlin, roadworks still causing delays on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union. I'll have your next Eyewitness News traffic update just after 6.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a shift worker making his way home and daydreaming about his next career move, his next chapter. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a possible light bulb moment that could change someone's life. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702 Podcast
On PrimeMediaPlus.com.
17 minutes to 6 o'clock, and round about this time, if John was here, he was going to speak to you about songs with a particular theme. Well, we continue to do the same in his absence, and today we thought we should ask you, because it's a Thursday, which song contains the days of the week that you like? You know, the Monday Blues, there's that song with, I think, Mary J. Blige. Monday, a friend of mine. Tuesday, you went away. Wednesday, you came back, or something like that. So any song that has got days of the week. And we thought we want to take it easy like Sunday morning. So give us a shout and let us know which song that you really, really like that contains any day of the week within the lyrical content of that particular song. For now, the Commodores, Easy Like Sunday Morning.
Sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. You see a big stone and I borrow. Yeah. Why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. To make it. Everybody wants me to be what they want me to be. I'm not happy when I try to fake it. No. Ooh, that's why I'm
Easy like Sunday morning. 14 minutes to 6 o'clock. Playing songs that contain days of the week in the lyrical content. Let us know which one is your favorite that contains any day of the week. Do so on 072 702 1702. Alternatively, call us on 011 883 0702.
I wanna be
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
The death of farmers is always a tragic situation. But the politicization of the death of our farmers, for what I believe is the monetization of the fear and the pain, is just as diabolical as the trivialization of anybody's death. There are certain organizations and certain agendas that have seen this as an opportunity. But the underlying racism that sustains the narrative that says that the blacks are out to kill the white farmers is most unfortunate.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
Think about 6 years ago, when Amapiano was just a musical instrument, when streaming meant watching water flow, not videos online, and remote work was only said when your remote batteries died. So it makes you wonder, what will the next 6 years bring? All Hino trucks now come standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty, covering everything from pistons to gears. So although a lot can change in 6 years, our warranty promise won't. T's and C's apply. Hino, all the way.
There's power in a single partner who helps you build a better employee benefits strategy. Begin with retirement, the foundation of securing your employee's future. Now layer in everyday health, mental wellness, and financial balance. And finally, essential protection for life's curveballs, from illness to income loss. Now that sounds like a complete benefit strategy, one that protects your people and powers your business. Talk to us at employeebenefits@oldmutual.com about Old Mutual Corporate's integrated employee benefits solutions. Old Mutual Corporate is a division of Old Mutual Life Assurance Company SA Limited, a licensed FSP and life insurer. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Tabo. 7 Days by Craig David from his first album. 7 Days by Craig David.
Craig David. This seems to be a favorite. We're getting a number of voice notes about the song, Craig David. So let's go straight to the calls. 011-883-0702. Deboho, hi. You calling from Tshwane?
Hi. Yeah. Hi. Good afternoon and good afternoon to the listeners. I just want to bring it back to the home soil. Let's take Muduma Silela, always the case.
Allah. Bring it back home local as leke. Thanks, Deboho. All the best. Eita.
Yes, sure. Yes, sure. Yes. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, always the case. Yeah, Monday, always the case. Monday, always the case. Monday, always the case.
And your voice notes on 072 702 1702.
Good afternoon, Tibos and the rest of the 702 lenders. It's Isaac from Rustenburg. For me, the song of the week will definitely be by the Boomtown Rats. I don't like Mondays. Okay, have a great show. Eh?
Silicon chip inside her head gets switched to overload. And nobody's gonna go to school today. She's gonna make them stay at home. Daddy doesn't understand it. He always said she was good as gold. And he can see no reasons, cause there are no reasons. What reason do you need to be shown? Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I wanna shoot. The whole day down.
Fantastic stuff. And in case you've just joined us, we're playing Button Reds, I Don't Like Mondays. And the intention behind that, we're playing songs that contain any day of the week. Feel free to give us a shout or call us on 011-883-0702 like Joseph did. You're calling from Guruman, Joseph. Hi, welcome.
Hello, Tibos.
Hello.
The song that I love with all my heart by Zonke.
Yeah.
I love you every day. She mentions the Mondays all the way to Sunday. Oh, that song for me. Ooh.
Listen, let's see if we've got it, Joe. It sounds great. And Karawa is giving me a nod. Let's play it for you right away. Thanks for calling, Joe. All the best. Say hi to them in the Northern Cape. Okay.
Jonga ngai yandibuka mna baby, Q is your name, yeah. And I don't care what they say. Untana every day, every day. Yakona kaundi jonga mna every day.
And of course, this is the indomitable Zonke Tikana. Oh, beautiful track indeed. I think we've got some voice notes, Karabo. Let's go straight to them.
Hey, Tabo. It's Thursday. But tomorrow, it's Friday, yeah. It's Saturday, Sunday, work. It's Friday, yeah. And it's Saturday, Sunday, work. Yeah, baby. Got to be the best way to start Friday morning with it.
I love it. I truly love it. I wish we could play it for you, but you've already sang the entire tune all by yourself. Please keep those voice notes coming through. I'm getting text messages about the Bengals, Manic Mondays, and a couple of them. I can't read them all, but there seems to be quite a lot. Garab, let's go to the Bengals, please. Manic Mondays.
I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian
The Bengals, Manic Mondays. Well, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and tomorrow is a Friday. Which song comes to mind when you think of a Friday? Especially South African classic song. Was a Friday, Juluka. Do you remember this one? Of course you do. Keep sending them to 072 702 1702.
For more about 702,
go to primemediaplus.com.
It looks like we're playing a wrong one, but I'm sure you remember Johnny Clegg. Juluka, here it is. This is the right one now.
We baba kunzima kulomhlaba we baba lomsebenzi upokile we baba nemali ayingeni engathi lele fikile ngaphela we baba.
Oh man, distinct voice of Johnny Clegg. We miss him definitely. Waza Friday is the name of the song. Well, Waza Stephen we should say now, because after this it's the Money Show. Have a lovely one. It's exactly 6 o'clock.
And now, The Money Show.
With Stephen Grootes, live on 92.7 and 106 FM. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And DSTV channel 856.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by ABSA CIB, backing the Ideas Fund by advancing capital to African infrastructure investment managers. Good evening on your Money Show tonight. Exxaro Resources cut costs and boosts revenue despite lower coal prices. The Spur Group says you're spending more at their restaurants. Why a name mattered to a bed company and how to manage the rebrand. Also this evening, why US immigration officials want your phone password. An investment school tonight. Do you keep your money here or send it out into a more difficult and dangerous world? All of that to come. But first, the very latest Eyewitness News.
Good evening, I'm Maki Malapo. Giant food manufacturer Tiger Brands is urging consumers to return their Benny beef and chicken-flavored stock cubes to their nearest retailers and receive funds after the company recalled the products this afternoon, citing inaccurate labeling on packaging. The decision to recall the products comes after the company consulted the National Consumer Commission